Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Kara, and Olive. Dan will be joining us any minute, but Ari will be joining us next week, as Ari is currently traveling and in Vermont today. A couple of announcements. What?
I said, have fun, be safe.
Yeah, always.
Moose.
True for everybody. Also, well, I guess not everybody has to watch out for moose, but everybody be safe. There's a non-zero chance that a moose is right behind you. We have a couple of different announcements to make. First, we have social media accounts at AlbronRPG for Threads, for Instagram, for Blue Sky, for YouTube. You can see different things that are on our encounter maps. We just have a table right now, and it looks like there is maybe a glove. Oh no, it's the drone.
It's Cinema Cube.
That's phenomenal.
And this is its shadow arms.
It was, from the perspective there, it was very confusing looking.
A glove?
Well, kind of like lingerie, and it wouldn't be out of place for this household.
Yeah.
But that is absolutely,
Cute.
Yeah. You can see things like that on Instagram at AlbronRPG. We have a whole bunch of one-shots that we have played or are going to be playing in the very near future. We played Axe Wolf and Woe, which was a gladiatorial one-shot just a couple of weeks ago. That was an epilogue to our first campaign. That is going to air sometime in early 2025. We recently, this last Saturday, played Wheel of the Year Yule that Tina ran for us. It was a holiday, one part of an 8-part series that is called Wheel of the Year. This one was based around Yule. The rest will be based around the other 7 high pagan holidays. It is a bonfire-based adventure that you can see up on YouTube at AlbronRPG. Tonight we are in Naughty and Nice theme as the holiday theme for this holiday week. You can see this side of the table. Well, you may not be able to see it, but this side of the table is nice. You can see nicely dressed is Olive, and just all around very nice is Kara. Kara also provided beverages for us.
Yes.
It was so nice to ask if we needed things from the store.
Not a sponsor.
No, not a sponsor is that cider. But that side of the table is nice. And then this side is naughty. And you can tell how naughty it is because Matthew is wearing a crew neck.
Yes, so naughty. Boo!
Oh, I'm waiting for Dan.
Yeah, we'll wait for Dan for the big reveal, and then we'll figure out who is the naughtiest or nicest today. And with that, there is this piece of paper. It was going to be a laminated token, but then I remembered I gave you all my lamination sheets, and I had meant to order more, and I just never did. No, don't be sorry. I gave them to you. But so yeah, those are coming. Hopefully, I'll have them for tomorrow's game. But there is a token that will stand for a reroll of any one dice roll tonight. That could be a D20, it could be a D100, it could be any dice roll, period. It expires tonight if the person does not use it, so just keep that in mind. We will release that once Dan arrives. Tomorrow, our D&D crew will be in Cloak and Dagger theme. Everybody will be wearing cloaks and daggers, and the cloakiest and daggeriest person will get a special token. On the 31st, there's going to be a video on YouTube called The State of Alberon 2025, with a preview of many of the exciting events that are coming up next year. It keeps getting longer. There's more events than I had even last week, so you can see that on the 31st. That is all the announcements, because that is where all the rest of the announcements will be. And so it is time for this week's session of Mosaic Team 5. Thank you for sticking with us. Dan has joined us in his naughty attire. But I think I think we got to give it to Matt.
Yeah.
Before
Oh my god, you're gonna freeze!
You're naughty for the
But he has to stay
Matt.
like that. Tell him he has to stay like that for the entire session.
You have to stay like that or your reroll is forfeit.
I like how
Yeah.
you say that like I'm the father of this family. But
Yes.
So,
Dad!
we're all
that's
adults.
not very nice of either of you.
I lost!
I am nice to the
I'm not nice anymore, fuck
So
you!
Matthew, I grant you the naughty or nice reroll for the night, that very nice token, which is also subtly naughty, perhaps. Like
Aww, fun.
Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you began with power cut to your ship,
Oh, what the fuck?
and in total darkness with life support failing and gravity now disabled.
Life support failed.
Oh no,
Life
Dan!
support failed.
Are you saying that your computer broke? That's weird, bro.
That never happened.
That's strange. Let me change the music here.
I can swap with another screen I have.
Of course.
What?
Talon, I mean, come on.
This has literally happened on stream before where Dan has swapped the screen. So, anyways, you began with power cut to the ship, and in total darkness with life support failing and gravity now disabled, floating amongst dangerous Vesk and escape prisoner alike, Shade, you used your mag boots to stand up, taking advantage of the zero gravity, to use the gravity gun to pulse the possessed Mesra 15 feet away from you. Bubbles, you smashed one of the Vesk guards off the roof and continued to wade your way through more of these responding Vesk. Echo, you ran to the kitchen and freed the rest of your batch, and the androids and you took off, sure that the rest of your team had communicated that you would be rapidly escaping with power out and the prisoner containment failing. While Echo led the androids down darkened corridors, the rest of you fought against the Vesk, zero gravity, and the gel cells themselves as you sought to free the various Yosoki of the Scabrat clan. This took much longer than expected, without the ability to use Shade's exocortex to remotely hack into the cells. But in the dark, Pajrodan, the subjugator of souls, a massive and powerful Vesk mystic, approached slowly but steadily, themselves not proficient in moving through the environment without gravity. With the lack of gravity also aiding Bubbles, an expert in throwing weapons already, but no longer bound by things that might perhaps drag your hammer down. Bubbles, even as you held the airlock, you were able to apply steady damage to Vesk guards, even downing one of them with a thrown, limitless hammer. Spice used every trick that you could imagine to create time and space, using things like adhere, using things like daze, using things like the momentum of a pheromone grenade to propel a guard back to give the last of your Yosoki a chance to dash to the airlock as Shade manually freed them.
Too cold.
As prisoner containment
Revolt.
failed, you all finally escaped through the airlock and into the Directive Zero, your ship, with all of the Scabrats, Echo 899, the entire batch that is part of Echo's group, the unconscious Martian pit fighter Mesra, and a corporate spy besides. And you flew clear of the falling Vesk prison barge, and seeing that Team 1 was already clear, dropped elsewhere into the drift, chancing an emergency reroute that brought you luckily to the relative safety of a drift highway.
I'm so smart.
Why is that?
I'm gonna virtual machine in.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, what?
Anyways, in this drift highway, where there are hundreds of kilometers in every direction but forward, where the space just stretches out into a black expanse, Shade, you had run scans and found that there were a few other craft occupying this corridor, a Castrovellian passenger ship with its escort craft, and then a little bit further behind you and falling steadily behind, a craft that is marked as Datsun Salvage, with a few other descriptors appended to it. But as they continue to fall behind and you maintain your course ahead, with still just about a day and a half left before you reach your destination, that is where we begin this evening. Give me one moment here. I'll go back to some less spooky music.
Now we are in the safety of our ship.
Okay. So Mosaic Team 5, at this moment, many of you quite tired after the events of this Vesk prison raid. It is right now 3:35 in the morning on the 7th of June. This is a Thursday. You know that you have about a day and a half left until you reach the Elysium Resort. Is there stuff that you would like to do in the meantime?
Shade just got a data puck from Bubs.
Yep.
Want to take a look at that and then also have a word with some of our captives.
Okay.
Captives.
I mean,
Friendlies.
Our passengers, welcome aboard the Directive
Most of them.
Zero.
So, Shade, you look at this data puck, and on it, Bubbles has included a bunch of information that they have scraped off of the infosphere, things from various different, articles, but also pulled from different message boards and forums that they're a part of. And it speaks of this individual called Vloraz, who you now can see with their picture up next to them. Absolutely the drow that you had left behind, or had left you behind, in the Vesk prison barge. And you see in a photo, in several photos, in fact, you and this individual side by side. You can see evidence that you were involved in a racing scene called the Chemtrax of Aphrodite. You can see that there are elements of your involvement in the Skittermander resistance back in 2230. Let me see, I think there's one other thing that Bubbles got. And that is what Bubbles was able to kind of scrape together. Bubbles, when you arrive on the ship and you all jump to the drift, what are you doing? I can come back to you if you want. I know you're dealing with some technical issues.
I almost got it perfect.
For context right now, Dan continues to drive like a 1970s Chevy, which is his laptop, and has declared that it's fine because all of the pieces you can just replace if you need to. And every time that he uses the computer, it requires a different set of peripherals and other devices. So right now, it looks like the phone is serving as the screen.
Yeah.
And you have an external 2-part keyboard. It's great.
The keyboard's always been there.
I'll come back to you in a second, Dan.
Oh, that
Echo.
looks bad.
You have returned aboard the ship with all of the other Echo units, and within
So
the
I'm
shuttle.
no longer on the shuttle.
Correct. If you want to be, you absolutely can be. This is right as you pulled up on the shuttle. You have redocked. You have all the Echo units with you. What do you want to do?
I think Echo, before fully rejoining the others onto the ship, would probably want to spend some time just talking to their batch and figuring out what's been going on for the past few weeks, where they've been, how they got this way.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull up the batch spreadsheet. So talking to your fellow Echo units, there's no check that's required. You are able to just talk to them about the things that have happened. And you also kind of heard from the Echoes, they feel very much indebted to you. I mean, you rescued them. And so, no role required, really. You get the sense that any information that you ask of them will be forthcoming and will be truthful. But they tell you about at least one of them has checked in with this individual who you know as the mechanic. They found that they had gone missing, not just them, but the entirety of their workshop had just been missing, which they indicated probably meant that there was some kind of danger to them. Do you explain to them?
Echo would fully share with the others.
Okay. So collaborating with all of that and with what they know and what you know, they would say that they suspect that the mechanic has likely utilized their sort of workshop and the different machinery and capabilities that he has to find a place within the drift to hide. And is there any details that are drift related that may be mechanic related that you share?
899 there.
Prototype? Cuttlefish? Not irrelevant?
I haven't seen it, but I can't get it because
I think Echo would share that they had visited the workshop, or the remains of part of the workshop,
Okay.
as well as I did happen to find a file on their computer. Well, the archive. The one with all of the ship designs. It did provide some illuminating information. Potentially, I have access to his whereabouts. I don't know if that would be useful to all of you, or if it would be wanted.
542, 543, 544, and potentially 548 would all be very interested in returning to the mechanic. Finding places to like essentially live and be free and like figure out what comes next, with the exception being 548, who has decided that they want to cook. They were the one that they're still holding onto the chef's knife. You had seen they have only one arm, but they that's what they're into now, and so they will all absolutely do that. For the others, 547, who is this kind of like glowing white green eyes and a little bit longer hair that was really just extensions, like kind of braided together. No actual like hair that is theirs still attached to the scalp. Mm-hmm. They are looking to put their actual training and skills to use, not as a courier, but as perhaps a mercenary or something, and would probably inquire if there were openings at Mosaic. And then 546, who is wearing an apron, holding a rolling pin, although has now stored that away, wants to go out and just see space, like actually explore and do things now that they're not bound to this kind of secrecy. Especially as you share the fact that you have this echolocator, this is really what your batch has been fearing, this device that could find and locate and potentially recall all of them.
I must ask, however, would you feel more comfortable if I were to destroy it? The echolocator, they mean.
Yeah. I think, like, all of the echoes, it's like in this big group, it is like one turns and then they look to the other, to the next one, to the next one. It's like the scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender where Aang looks to the left and it's like all the avatars.
Yeah.
And it's just echo.
Yeah.
And then it goes, and then right back around to you, and you know that the answer is yes. Like, it is this unspoken communication that happens in an instant. And 543 would say, as long as the echolocator exists, we will be in danger. You cannot guarantee remaining safe at all times.
That is a good point. I was hoping to reverse engineer its long-range communication ability to develop a remote, off-grid perhaps, way of keeping in touch.
The echo that you're speaking to, the sort of olive skin, seems to contrast a little bit more with the eyes as they grow brighter, and you recognize they seem to be like recalling information. And then they say, the mechanic was working on a device similar to this.
I currently have it on board our main vessel. And they turn to the ones who said they wanted to go back to the mechanic.
Yeah.
I would be happy to give it to you if you wish to go and find them.
You can see this group of 4 echo units kind of band together, and they look hopeful. And one of them, I would say the one who wants to be a chef, 548, would say, this would be a good compromise. And after, we can decide together what to do with the device.
And Echo basically, like, tight beams the coordinates to them.
Okay.
And as they're, like, headed back to the ship, they turn to, like, 547, the one that's like, maybe I just want to continue using my skills.
Yeah.
While I do not know if any of the teams have any openings, I am certain that, if not with Mosaic, we do have contacts who would appreciate someone of our capabilities.
They nod to you and they say, any assistance would be appreciated.
And I will need to inquire with my supervisor if I can give you the coordinates for the Mosaic headquarters.
They nod, and there is a little beep on your communicator, and they have added their contact information to yours.
and then rejoin. And if 899 is still like staying on the shuttle, they would stay behind to talk to 899. But if 899 is going on with them.
899 will wait. Absolutely.
Sure.
Part of the batch now.
I am glad that you are safe. Arms notwithstanding.
They nod, and for a moment, they do kind of look around at all the other Echo units, and you can see they catch themselves because they recognize in this moment how this might land.
You don't do it.
They do say, arms can be found elsewhere.
We do have a printer on board the vessel, and I was able to collect a variety of UPBs. Perhaps we could be able to print you some new ones.
Perhaps. But if you are giving this device to the other Echo units, I would like to go with them. Pallades Rock is not dead.
They're a little disappointed, but I understand. You have, so far, been most informative. I am afraid I do not know much about Pallades Rock or its goings-on. But following you and attempting to find you has been quite helpful, if not re-traumatizing.
What do you want to know about Pallades Rock?
Why are they still active? I thought that they were a dead company and they were no longer in production.
Pallades Rock was revived by a financial contribution through a series of shell corporations leading back to a mercenary group. This mercenary group has connections to Jacinto Corporation.
Of course they do.
There is something coming. Something that will require even more soldiers than the Vesk War. Echo units should have been soldiers. If the war did not end, there would be many, many more of us.
Do you wish to be a soldier?
Gotta find out what they wish for. I have a lot of Echo units.
How many
To go to Disney World.
Yeah, I want to be a part of Disney on Ice. They do a really, really good show.
Pallades Rock is one facet on a gem of societal corruption. There are many places that androids are not considered sentient still. Until we can be safe everywhere, there is nowhere we can be truly safe. I do not wish to be a soldier, but I may have to be a revolutionary.
I do desire to remain in contact. I believe we could be of use and of help to one another. I think our goals are similar.
I agree. The little shoulder joint out, and you can see they had gone to like bump a communicator with you, but they have none. And they'll say, I regret to inform you I have no communicator at present, but I will rectify the situation.
Again, supplies can be redistributed. I will have a talk with the captain if he is amenable.
They nod, and in the meantime they will say, otherwise, it will be easy to find you.
I am not very quiet.
Again, the little like motion comes up, and there's like a little, and you can see they go, you should look at your teammate's social media posts sometime.
I do not enjoy it. It's quite loud.
Yes, it is very informative. But they get up and they kind of head off to the group of echoes that's sort of gathering around, preparing to go after finding the mechanic. Echo, as you talk to the other Echo, Spice, what are you doing?
So Spice and Gibbs are with Mesra
Okay.
as she regains consciousness. And, like, as she's coming to, like, Spice, I think, was, like, doing CPR on top of her chest.
Yeah.
Not helping, obviously.
No, definitely not.
But once she, like, regains consciousness and, like, sits up, Spice is gonna, like, be like, drape her arm around Mesra and be like, she has a cigarette in her hand. She's like, thanks for helping us out back there, sweetheart. I help you, you help me. We're on our way to Mars.
You can see she kind of like shifts a little bit uncomfortably, but you're basically on top of her, so she can't.
Yeah, her.
like-
Well, maybe she's doing that thing. You know how people like put their feet on people's laps?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's doing that.
sure. So sitting there, not really like, not necessarily willing, but not going to like just shove you off because that is more aggressive than the situation calls for. You can see the sort of golden eyes of this Kasatha regard you. You can see yourself reflected back in them. Two of her arms are like draped over the couch. One of them like comes back up and crosses over with the other one. And she will say, as long as you get me to Mars, I helped you back there, as I said I would.
Yeah, game sees game, girl. What? Why are you trying to go to Mars again? Remind me.
It is where I belong.
Like where your family is, like is like your boyfriend, girlfriend, their friend there. You got some work you need to finish there. Tell me more.
She says, in Aphrodite, there is a place called the Pits.
Oh, I think you said those. Remind me what those are again.
It is a place where the strongest warriors are forged.
Wait,
It is
did
a
we fight
place
in the pits?
of darkness and of blood and of chemicals so severe they'll burn the skin from your body.
So you're a wrestle showgirl.
I'm a fighter.
That's hot as hell, girl. Have you ever heard of, and she drops the name of that statue lady that we had, the fighting ring that we were in?
The Katydid.
Yeah, Katydid Queen. So she's like, I met the Katydid Queen in passing once. We actually fought against her.
That's
Make a diplomacy check. And I would say take a +8 conditional modifier.
Oh, yeah.
Use them skills.
Oh, nice.
Spicy.
Oh, Jesus.
Spicy.
Spicy. So diplomacy. Jesus. 36 plus 8.
Okay.
nice. 44.
44. Nice. I rolled pretty high on that. That's pretty good.
Okay. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, the
Spicy's diplomatic
Katydid
as
Queen. Yeah. Just wait. Once I level up, I get 1d8 plus 2 of added to any of my checks.
wow.
That I have.
Uh-oh.
That are part of my
Okay, so what was the question that you asked? You said...
Do you know the Katydid Queen? I fought with her. Like, what do you know of her? She's trying to flex.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. She'll look at you and she'll kind of regard you up and down. And you can see for the first time, like taking an active interest in you as a person. And she leans forwards and the bottom pair of arms leans over your legs. The other kind of like goes underneath her chin.
Yeah?
And she looks at you and she says, you fought the Katydid Queen.
Yeah, you want to hear about it? Wait! I'll tell you everything. Come with me. And I'm gonna bring her to, because we have the hand of the statue, right?
Oh my god.
You do. Yeah.
She's gonna go, can you keep a secret, darling?
She'll look you up and down and she'll say, have you ever heard of the black market death fights of Mars?
I haven't, but they sound horrifying. Tell me more.
No, that should tell you all you need to know about how well I can keep a secret.
Damn straight. You're a quick one, girl. Follow me. So she's gonna take her down to
Smuggler's
the
compartment?
smuggler's compartment, like
Sure.
embellishing the story of
Sure.
the
Echo. What else is in the... so first, as you bring Mezra down there,
yeah.
you get down there, and before Mezra starts going down the ladder, what does Spice see?
Spice sees not only the hand, but also the 2 bodies
Oh, shit, I forgot
of
about
Echo units that Echo has been waiting to find a good burial place for, rather than just venting them into space.
Oh, so they're like dead. I thought they could be revived.
No, they did.
Oh, she goes, "Ooh, don't don't mind those. We're just looking for a good place to put them. Echoes Project, really. I don't know what's going on here, but check this out.
Okay, so she just comes down. She looks at these two corpses just crumpled around this hand. She's going to make a religion check.
Don't worry, they're well preserved. We're taking
Don't
care
mind these
of
corpses.
them.
Look at this
Yeah.
going on.
Don't mind the body. Take a look at this statue.
The arm of a statue.
She's going to look at this arm and she's going to say, and as she looks at it, like every couple of seconds, the eyes flick down to look at these bodies. But she's mostly focusing on that. But she says, it's a gold hand.
It's, what was the statue, the name of the statue, lady? It was the queen, the fucking fighter.
The katydid queen.
It's literally
Yeah,
the
just the
statue
katydid
of the
queen.
katydid queen.
Yeah.
She goes, that's,
But it's just a hand.
yeah. When,
She's a very
hand.
distinguished hand, Joe, okay?
and then she points at it like over her shoulder. She's like, that's her hand right there. I stole it myself.
With your diplomacy check, you can see the eyes get a little bit wider. And she nods and she
I'm
says,
a real deal, babe.
I don't understand how you fighting against her led you to stealing a hand from a statue.
It's a long story. I'll tell you. Let's go back up. We'll have a couple beers. Say, while we're up there, we have a mission on Mars, which I forget. You guys told me before the
Yeah.
session, but I
To
already
go to
forget what it
the
was.
same area, to go to the swamp area to look at the Gaius.
We have R&R first.
Yeah, we have R&R first.
I want to invite her. So she goes. She's like talking to her. I guess she's like has the new Mark III, right? Printer, print us out some beers or whatever. She like clinks her glass and she goes, "We are going. Do you want to help us on another mission? And we'll help you on another mission. I think we work well together."
So right about this time is when Echo finishes the conversation with the Echo units. Shade, you've kind of like finished getting things stowed back on the ship from like rejoining and like making sure that the actual drift coordinates are kind of squared away.
I want to do something.
Yeah.
So while Spice is kind of down in the cargo hole, Bubs is going to have some alone time in the med bay.
Okay.
He's going to just kind of be like, kind of just like a really melancholy. So he's just going to do some drawing.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were going to you're just going to do some drugs. And I was like, whoa, really sharp turn for Bubbles.
Whoa, things got dark.
Yeah, drama.
Emulating the X hard.
Bubs is gonna start. He's gonna just start sketching. It's gonna be like a building. It's gonna like kind of be like a tropical place around the building. He'll like kind of have clear windows, some signs out front, a big marquee, various like kind of like racks inside, and like coat hangers and stuff. And Bub starts sketching all this, and eventually you can see like the marquee. The title of it is Bubbles Laundromat. And
Love that.
and he's drawing this, and it's just like this is what he wants.
Okay.
And he's drawing this. This is a dream of his that, and he's just he has this moment of he can't get Miles, but this is his moment right now. He's drawing it, and he's filling it in the people, and he fills in. He draws, of course, himself. He's way more like.
I'm imagining
handsome.
this is the grand drawing. It's like a circle and a circle, like a 2-stick figure. Like,
No, Bubs is. We
I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
know.
Bubbles is an artist.
Yeah.
Just funny.
An
Yeah.
artiste.
Funny the way you're.
And Bubs definitely like upscales how he looks. He's a lot more prettier. And then he like in like the rest of the building, it's all like filled out, and he's like just doing the finishing of the touches, and then he sees like there's like an empty space where he wants to draw someone, and he just stops, and he thinks, "Who is that person?"
Make an insight check or a sense motive check.
For Bubbles?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to plug this in. Can I get another charger for a surge protector at some point?
What? What's happening to the surge protectors that I keep getting?
11
They keep getting broken by the surges
plus...
of this broken ass monstrosity
Yeah,
that
for
sits atop your table.
It's 11, 16.
16. With the 16, you think about this, and this empty space, you've just had a long mission, and so it's just hard to creatively get the juices flowing. You don't know why it's so hard to figure out who should go here. Denial is strong. But no problem. You draw this picture.
Bubs gets up and he walks to his old bedroom, the armory.
Okay.
Not a bedroom.
You can hear like muffled from below
Yes.
the
Spice
smuggling bay.
Yeah, Spice isn't there, so
Yeah, you're hearing like, never mind those. We're treating them respectfully, very fresh.
Bubs doesn't know she's in there. or
Very
not.
fresh.
Bubs he like looks down at the paper and he thinks who, and then he reaches his arm out and he tries to like bring himself to knock. He like does the invisible kind of, but he stops himself. And then he just puts his hand down and drops the papers on the floor and just goes back to the med bay.
Okay. No
And
problem.
he's just Charlie Brown walking sad.
Sad. Give me a second.
I don't know what the DM just rolled, but it seems integral to the
Anyways,
story.
As you do that, just making a note real quick.
About what?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Don't worry about it.
There's a bunch of
I
people
feel like I need to
watching
worry
this
about
shit.
it.
I wonder what happened.
So
Oh.
you have this kind of moment.
I thought we're
you
safe.
drop the paper. You walk away. You come back upstairs from this conversation. Echo, you exit the shuttle. Shade, from where you are in the cockpit with the door presumably shut since there's so much kind of happening in here. If you want, you can kind of hear what's happening. And so at any point you can choose to engage people.
yeah, I want to go find Spice's dad
Oh
Okay.
shit,
and
that
Matilda
fuckhead.
Summit
Okay.
separately, but you know,
We should have
With-
left him
with
unsupervised.
agency.
That was
I-
my fault.
Yeah.
So Spice's dad, as you look around, not too hard to find, kind of like sprawled out in the like the little gardening planter. He has removed elements of some of like the dirt and tucked it into some plastic bags to form sort of like a makeshift mattress in the cargo bay, and is currently kind of like looking around. Ostensibly, you can hear him out loud saying, sheets, and like is going through many containers and compartments that would not be logical for sheets to be stored in. Is really just kind of looking through cabinets and stuff.
Rifling through our stuff.
Matilda Summit is sitting cross-legged on the ground in the crew quarters, just sort of waiting alongside many of the scab rats.
Okay. I would probably stop Hisoka first. Like he's just like rifling through stuff basically.
Yeah,
I'd go up and just be like, ahead.
you return and just go, mechanical man. I never actually got your name.
I am Shade.
Shade. Lovely. Do you have sheets or maybe some small soaps?
Why?
I find myself without any of my belongings. And Vloraz seems to have not accounted for this.
What do you know of Lorenz?
I mean, the same as you. You hired us. We're going to do that job.
Enlighten me.
And make a sense motive check.
Why do you need to be enlightened? We were hired like yesterday.
And he's going to very quietly like close this cabinet, and he's going to say, maybe there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. When I said that job, I meant temp work. You know,
Oh shit.
just run-of-the-mill temporary work. So, I mean, your assignment might have been different than mine.
How long ago was this assignment given?
I learned of this job from Vloraz about 2 weeks ago.
And Flores said that I was involved.
Not specifically, but I've seen you in the pictures.
Which pictures?
talking with me. The pictures, all of you together. In the big room.
Do you have these pictures?
No. He like looks around and he's like, there's androids. What do you know about humans?
Oh, this fuckface. Punch him in the face! Or punch him in the other side of his face. Punch him in the gut, the dick.
He's two-faced.
That's
Get
where
both
Spice
faces.
gets it from.
I know plenty.
So
about humans.
you know that they're sentimental and they sort of have an illogical way of holding on to feelings. They've invented this thing called a Polaroid, and you can take pictures and print them out. It's sort of similar to that. Incredibly inefficient, and when you want something, you can't just pull it up. But there you have it. They're physical pictures. And some of them are actually quite large.
Wow. He just mansplained a photo to you. That's so offensive.
Where does Floraz want you next?
Well, now I'm a bit unsure about that. We were caught on our way to get a new ship to be able to blend in with the clientele a bit more capably and with something more armed and armored. And when that went sideways and we were caught by the Vesk, we ended up in that situation that you so thankfully freed us from.
Do you have a way to contact Floraz now?
Not precisely. I have a way to make them aware of my location. With access to the infosphere, of course. By the way, do you have a wireless password?
I believe you're under a misunderstanding. You're only on this ship because you are related to one of my crew members. If it were up to me, I would have you jettisoned immediately.
You can see they like straighten up and they go, well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I'll just go find my daughter now. And
I
he
think you should.
turns around and
Ow.
just walks away from you.
Why would you send him my way?
Place, you're having a great time.
I-
You're drinking out beers. You're sitting
Yeah.
there with Bess, right? You're like, all right,
Blink.
we're gonna talk about. And then the door walks in, and
Door
The
walks-
door.
walks in. the door just jump.
Yeah.
Door, what are you doing here?
Girl, I told you to stay on your damn hinges.
Your dad walks through the door into
Hey,
the crew
honey.
quarters.
Oh, you got a guest over?
And he says, Spice, have you calmed down?
Oh.
She looks at Mesra, and then she like slowly puts down her glass, and then she'll look up at him and she'll go, "Well, Ilmi, I haven't yet, you fuckface."
You can see he recoils at that and he goes, fuckface? I mean, I wasn't expecting Dad, but,
Yeah, because you never were one to me, you fuckface.
well, I've been busy. I meant to check in more, I really did, but it's hard to keep track of you and your...
And who?
What?
Say their names, father. I bet you can't even remember them.
Well,
You called me Robin. At least you can remember her name.
He says, well, to be fair, Robin at least talks to me a lot more than you do.
Oh, you. What? Who could ever want anything from you?
But he'll say, well, I mean, Robin, for one, asks for my advice in all sorts of things. And I would say that Nami and Zoro and Sanji and Usopp and Chopper, if you all have reached out to me at different times.
There's genuine surprise that she immediately suppresses.
And that's all the siblings that you know about, right?
What did you say?
Ew, Dad.
It's just,
Very
I've been very busy.
Yeah, gross. Not something you talk about at the fucking Driftmas dinner table, you fuck face.
He smiles and he says, well, perhaps I deserve that. But I wanted to say, your,
Who saved you? Did Shade save you?
I don't know, is that a program? I've done a couple different programs now.
Maybe he has memory issues.
What are you even doing here, Father?
Well,
How did you get swept up into a fucking prison barge, you shit?
you can see like a
Of
couple
all
things.
people, I'm kind of surprised you got caught.
A couple things dawn on him all at once, and he is kind of like, "Oh, Spice, this might be perfect. I've heard that you might be in some debt as well, and so this might be a chance where you could help us completely clear both.
I
of
think
our
at that point, she like gets up from the couch, she gets up really close to his face, and she goes, I know where my debt came from.
After this, you could see like the camera zoomed in on the two of you really close to each other. He's drawing back a little bit, and then it zooms between you to Mesra, who is sitting there with like a beer in one hand and is just like, should I leave?
Spice doesn't respond because she wants Hisoka to say it out loud.
You can see she has to like shove your legs off her legs. And,
Well,
like,
no,
you're-
Spice got up from the
that's
couch
true.
and marched.
So she has
up.
to kind of just like tuck in around you awkwardly and then just make her way out. But now it is you and your dad alone in this room. For the rest of you, this is loud enough that you can almost certainly hear this in the ship.
Shade lights a cigarette.
All the other echo units,
Goes to find
it's
Matilda.
like a herd of gazelle. It's just all the echoes.
Ooh.
turn
Yeah, they turn
in this
into
like aggression.
The mechanics bay is this way.
I'll go look for Shade.
The Lashunta get pretty emotional.
Hang around for
Sure, no problem. You walk away from that. But
Her dad's a fuckface.
your dad
Echo does not.
does kind of draw back a little bit and says, you know, if you need some more time, that's okay also.
She'll grab his neck and go, I don't need any more time with you. You did this to me. You did this. You ruined our family. I wish you were dead. She'll push him against the door frame and walk away.
Okay. You push him against the door frame and you walk away. Do you look back at all?
No, she storms up to the cockpit.
Okay. You storm up to the cockpit, no problem. You do so. The familiar sort of hallways, just nice spick and span, clean as could be. Then you make your way into the cockpit. There is presumably Shade.
I was going to look for Natilda.
Okay, so we'll go
So
to the
she's in the
cockpit.
cockpit. She just crosses her hands. And
Squeak is in there.
He's not.
What?
Squeak is in the engineering bay at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But no problem. You go to the cockpit, you pout. That is a free action.
yes.
For you, Shade, you go to look for Natilda Summit. Okay. You go over to the very loud kind of corner of the crew quarters on the other side of the table, away from where Spice and their father had been having the confrontation, tucked into mostly Gibbs's bed, but now kind of spilling over into the bunks above and below, or above and to the side. Sorry, Echo. The kind of scab rats are all tucked in, and it's like a slumber party is happening. They've all tucked together and are like cuddled up in blankets, and they're all very much like cuddled
It's the
together.
Rat King. It's starting.
And Natilda is sort of off to the left in one of the beds by themselves. But they would acknowledge you as you approach. You can see they have a briefcase next to them. What are you saying?
Natilda Summit.
Yes.
I am Captain Shade of Mosaic Team 5. There is a matter I would like to discuss with you.
Very well.
I understand that you have an $8 million bounty, dead or alive.
Is there perhaps somewhere more private we could talk?
Yes. We can go to the cockpit.
She nods and kind of stands up, grabs her briefcase. You make your way to the cockpit. As you enter, Squeak kind of joins you from the opposite corridor coming from the engineering bay. He looks happy as could be, but he follows you. You make your way over, no problem,
There's a cloud of smoke.
and you see that Spice is very much just like
What has he been doing?
ripping butts in the cockpit.
You're such a bitch.
Spice.
What? Natilda.
Yes, this is Natilda Summit.
Pleasure's mine, darling.
I'm happy to meet you, Spice and Imido.
Yes.
Put their hand out and they shake
Oh,
it.
you've heard of me.
I've heard of your mother, yes.
Oh, you have. How did you meet her?
I've not had the pleasure to meet her.
That is something I wish to ask you about.
Yes.
We are currently involved in uncovering some activity involving Jacinto. I believe your experience and expertise may help elucidate some of the questions that are still on my mind.
Such as?
Namely, what Jacinto's involvement is with the current situation happening within both the USR and the GPF, and now seemingly the VESC as well.
At this moment, can Bubs just go up to the cockpit but just like listen in?
Yeah, no problem. Are you trying to be like stealthy about it?
Yeah, sure.
Make a stealth check. She looks at you as you say this, and she says, Jacinto accounts for approximately 37.4% of the entire GDP's worth of processed goods that moves through the USR. They will be involved by default in anything that occurs within that space. Anything that occurs with humanity will have to do with Jacinto. So you'll need to be a bit more specific.
It is my understanding that Jacinto is somehow involved in an operation within the GPF for massive terraforming. It seems as if they're preparing for a much larger war than the VESC.
I would say you're about half right. Jacinto is a USR company. I don't believe they would work with the GPF, but there is something big coming. That is something that's easy to see. Jacinto has been sabotaging other producers of wartime electronics, such as Harbinger Robotics. There's a number of smaller contractors that create avionics suites as well. And so Jacinto is involved in corporate espionage at a competitive level like that, yes.
What do you intend to do now?
Where are we going?
Your questions and your answers may largely determine that.
And I'm not sure yet.
Well,
I don't have access to any of my funds or documents, which will make it significantly more challenging for me to return to a place where I have such.
I hope you understand. I do not mean this in a threatening way, simply pragmatic. Your value is $8 million, dead or alive. As a bounty hunter, that is a large estimation of value. However, I do think that alive, you may prove more useful to us in a more mutually beneficial way.
best be on your good behavior.
I think it's at this point that Echo has like gotten all the other units settled in the engineering bay and like gotten them printing. And Echo like passes Bubbles by the cockpit. I assume. Did you do a stealth check?
Yeah, I got a 27.
Ooh, good job.
So Bubbles, if you want, you can like kind of hear, maybe not Echo approaching, but you can kind of hear like the tone of the conversation amongst the Echo shift. And so you might be aware and you can remove yourself if you want as Echo approaches. Or are you just gonna stay there?
I'm confused. Is Echo walking up towards me?
Yeah, it would be
As if
coming from
going
the
to the
side,
cockpit?
yeah.
They're headed to the cockpit, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think Bubs will, if he sees Echo about to join, he'll just like kind of like he'll maybe join at,
Okay.
them.
Cool.
Echo just goes in.
So suddenly the door, Echo and Bubbles walk in, and the cockpit is very crowded. There is one too few seats for the number of people, and that's before you account for Squeak, who is kind of like tucked into where Shade is.
I had meant to ask the captain something, but it appears that
You got company.
It will only be a moment.
Echo like makes android eye contact with everyone, and then just like
Oh, dissolves
Checks
into
out.
the wall. Maybe I should give you the gray thing.
They turn
that
back to
dissolves into the
you,
wall.
Shade, and they say, you know, you're very interesting. I'm happy to cooperate however I can.
Says motive.
Make a sense motive check. She says, I have no love for Jacinto. They were a fine paycheck for quite a long time. I mean to disappear, but where we're going largely informs how possible that might be.
40 stealth check.
You blend into the shadows.
Okay. Sense motive ends up being 22, 27. Wait, no, right, that's right, 27.
With a 27, which is pretty good, you get the sense that, first of all, she's telling the truth. She hasn't lied yet.
Okay.
Secondly, she knows significantly more than she has let on.
Okay.
And third, she's genuinely amused by this interaction. There's no like meanness there.
Mm-hmm.
This is you can't quite get what this emotion is or what this feeling is, but there's no malice here.
Okay. And she lets it go then. She just is like smoking her cigarette silently.
No problem.
What did she ask now?
She had just said she had intended to disappear, but largely where you guys were going would inform how she could do that.
Yeah, she said, I'm willing to help you.
Yeah.
It appears our next mission will be taking us towards Mars, or somewhere thereabouts. It won't be for a few days at least.
If perhaps there is a place you could drop me off that is a little less populated, I would appreciate that.
We can probably find somewhere.
They nod.
What
What
can you tell me about Lydell?
Lydell Wilcost.
Yes.
That's an interesting one. They're ostensibly... You can see they turn over. Hey, Branch, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, I took a little bit. Yeah, I'm good.
He's ostensibly a branch manager for one of the Jacinto stores, but he's been highly involved in securing prototypes and testing, and has worked heavily with the USR, with the military. His background is mostly in appliance sales and district management until perhaps 5 years ago when he received security clearance and has worked on these projects. I'm sure that he knows quite a bit more.
You said only 5 years ago.
Only 5 years ago officially, yes. It's possible that he's done it more.
What else can you tell me about the technology that Jacinto has been researching?
Again, you'll need to be more specific.
Anything regarding terraforming?
All kinds of things for colonization. Nothing that I would say is terraforming, strictly speaking, but from marketing perspectives and research, terraforming is what they'll call it. But much of it is things like modular domes that will slightly change the surroundings. Not true terraforming.
I will probably have more questions for you. Is there a way that we can keep in touch?
Well, I'm trapped on your ship until we go somewhere else.
After that, I mean.
If you can give me your communication details, I can get in contact with you and I have a means to.
I'll arrange something before we drop you off.
They know.
Spice is going to try to swipe her briefcase.
Okay.
Just, I don't care if she fails, but I want Natilda. Spice wants Natilda to know that Spice knows that there's something in there.
Sure, make a sleight of hand
It's
check.
the nuclear football the president carries.
No, it's her sweet-ass pistols.
Yeah, I think it's because, what is she? She's
She's an
the
ace
ace pistol shot. What, sleight of hand. Let's see here. Okay. Natural one, baby.
Goodbye,
So
diplomacy.
Spice like reaches over her chair, squeaks.
Excuse me, just...
Yeah, she.
I think that's mine.
The cigarette falls out of her mouth.
As you're doing that,
Like ashes on her leg.
She stands up, and it's very well choreographed. She stands up as if she's just getting up to go away, but it just pulls the briefcase just out of your hand's reach.
Okay.
And she kind of nods to you, and she says, well, thank you very much for the rescue, for the consideration, and hopefully for a less populated place to be let off. Yeah.
Echo would use the commotion to slip away.
Okay,
And steal her briefcase.
Nope.
Just kidding.
but that is what happens. Anything else people want to do before this day comes to an end?
Nap.
Echo like pings Shay and it's like, I had meant to ask about printing.
You can come in now.
Comes back.
Okay, you make your way back in.
Mesmer, slumber party. Look, I have a bed here. If you need to rest, I'm just saying. Girl, this spot's open. And then Spice immediately falls asleep.
Okay, Mesmer will go and take the top bunk to the one that you take.
Okay.
Or no, is this in the armory?
Yeah, it's armory.
Oh god.
Sorry, it's a little bit messy. She like pushes her like makeup and her like gross used clothes aside.
I feel like
I
while
think
we were
She like walks in fully intending to like follow through with this and then looks around and goes, no, thank you.
there are so many
just
cleaning
goes-
droids in there.
Please
like,
be my
attempting
friend,
to make that
girl.
Never.
She just leaves.
Damn it.
That's
no
why Bugs
problem.
wanted to go into the room. He wanted to clean it.
Yeah,
It's gross.
needs it. It needs it. You felt it like through the door.
There's like,
He misses it a little bit.
Yeah.
it's not like
You
gift
saw like
level
one
gunk,
strand
but
of
it's
hair
like,
sticking out of the door. Like that would never happen.
Bubs misses this mess.
Yeah, but no
Teenage
problem.
girl
You
level
find
mess.
sleep. Anything else that you guys want to do before you find rest?
Echo enters the cockpit and says, I had hoped to get started on a few printing projects for my batch, if that would be all right. I did acquire a significant amount of UPBs, and things like arms are needed.
I can assist you with that.
There's also stuff in the armory.
They also do not have any communicators, and I would like some way of staying in touch with them.
I can also assist with that.
It would be appreciated.
If you have the required UPB.
Why, yes. I believe I have 73,000. Is that how much we said, or was it 7?
7,000. Sorry.
Oh,
When you're like Sonic
bummer.
and grab a bunch of-
73,000.
I
I
get,
like that.
I rolled
73,000 would be
off
nice.
camera
You did.
and I was like half packed up and I remember the 73. I just don't remember how many
There's
zeros.
10,000 total UPB.
So
Okay.
7,300.
Okay, cool.
Which still like phenomenal.
So that's
Yes.
enough to make encrypted comms for how many do you need? 5, 6?
I mostly just wanted like communicators in general to have communication with them.
I'm gonna make them
all your
encrypted,
freed
'cause, like,
prisoners are like just they're naked in the 22nd century
Yeah.
right now.
And then like arms, but also Kara has wish lists for Echo that maybe would happen if we had spare UPBs.
Maybe.
Gotta collect more. We gotta kill more
Bugs wants a
Sandmans.
rocket ship.
But for what it's worth, you only have about 32 hours until you reach the system that Kalu Kalu is within, where you are all going to a resort that is called the Elysium Resort. And when you are there, you will have 3 days in which you can, in theory, like remotely print things from your ship. And so you can do that.
We also have to figure out what to do with all these people on our ship.
So Mosaic Corporation, I would say, right at about this time, you do get a quick notification about 5 in the morning from Mosaic LLC, which lists your details for this trip. And you would see that you have been booked 5 rooms, so each of you gets a private room within this place. Give me one moment here. Okay. So within the Elysium Spa, you will see that rooms have been booked for several days for... Spice will be in room 206, Echo will be in room 207, Shade will be in room 208, Gibbs will be in room 209, and then Bubbles will be in room 210.
Well done, Sentient Resources. Well done.
Sentient Resources put some thought into the directions in which they actually wanted to split you by rooms, but there was not the availability. They list like a couple features in the rooms in the way that like a ticket receipt might, and you can see that each of these rooms contains a king-size bed with a cot that can be like erected as well. There is in each room a jacuzzi-style bathtub that is powered by the hot springs. So in theory, you can attend the hot springs without ever leaving your room.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
There is no like bar or like single restaurant here because you can have any drink or food delivered to you in any of the locations or hot springs or in your room.
I'm gonna start crying because I want this so
attendants can send.
badly.
with this sort of package comes like a little brochure of the Elysium Spa. You can see this place has this kind of like iconic, it's almost like a mermaid that is half human and then half Kaiser, which is like this sort of like plant-like species of individuals. Your Nazma.
Rose.
Nazma is
okay.
a Kaiser. Rose is a Goron.
Yeah.
Kaisers are a little bit more like coral in their plant-like abilities.
Okay.
And they have like these kind of hooky arm things over their backs, a little bit more spindly. But half Kaiser, half human, this mermaid with this sort of like half angel halo over their head. And you can see all the different things that are listed here. There's like different kinds of meditation. There's a massage center where there is like deep tissue massages, something called sweatish massages, hot stone massages, aromatherapy. There is like different kinds of like additions that you can do. Like you can add a scalp massage to any of these things, or a hand and foot scrub. There is like herbal hot compresses that you can add in. There's a face and skin treatment center. There is a entire entertainment center that has 4D films with chairs that move and magically implanted sensory experiences that are kind of put alongside the films. There is a tattoo parlor that is galactically renowned called Dren's Tattoo Parlor, where there is magical tattoos available with a variety of functions. There is a hair salon. There is a beauty parlor. There is the Radiance Hot Springs, which are the hottest known hot springs on the entire planet. There are like records posted with them for different kinds of species and how long they've lasted in there. There is, you can see, listed as coming in 2048, so coming 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it still says coming soon.
No.
There is the underwater grotto, and this was supposed to include like an entire theater and like
Disney World.
different things. It seems as if this is not finished, despite the fact that it is now 2 years later.
Damn it.
But they show you all these different things and these things that are available, and yeah, that is what is coming up.
Nice.
Echo, like,
You
wow.
will note 5 rooms, and you are currently lugging on your ship, in addition to the 5 of you, 6 Yosoki, a human, a Kasatha, a Lashunta.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
but
It's
an additional like
Hisoka,
9 unaccounted for people.
Mesra, Natilda.
A
all the
fuck ton
echoes
of
are
echo
all-
units.
All right.
I
All the
think
echoes are on the
before
shelf.
Mesra leaves Spice's disgusting room, she lays down and go, just so you know, you can bunk with me in my room, and she'll drop the name at Elysium Resort because we only have 5 rooms. Just think about that, Mesra.
She'll pause and then just walk out. But okay, you've
Okay.
told her.
Damn it. That didn't sell her.
You don't know for sure, but she's
probably
seen the room and like the smell alone, like
Yeah, no, Spice's room is gross.
Yeah.
Bubs is gonna go around seeing that there's like a bunch of people like in the ship now, and he's thinking he wants to be productive. He doesn't want to be Charlie Bound sad anymore.
Sure.
So he's gonna go around and make little toiletry kits
Okay.
based on his supplies that he has. Like weak little toothbrushes for Bubs. He thinks they're pretty weak.
Okay.
Just various. He'll give some wipes, some mean green wipes, not the good wipes.
Okay.
He'll give toothpaste, obviously little miniature toothpaste, allotted into like little bags. He'll give out a bunch of like things, and he'll go around. He'll start. He'll give it. Start out giving to the echo units. Then he'll give one to Mesra after they're not with Spice. Bubs will give one to. Sorry. We'll give one to the Yusokis. But
So when you give it to the Yosokis,
Yeah.
the Yosokis especially, you can put it in all their hands. They're like looking at things a little bit confused, and then Gibbs comes out and just goes, Bubba's got a snack kits! And like there's just this cheer from the Yosokis. You can see one of them just immediately punctures one of the toothpicks with their teeth and then just starts like extracting it like a drink.
Oh, gross.
You can see this white Yosoki
They might
spent
still
like
get some fluoride on there.
flavored.
Bubs thinks, hey, you know what?
I can't imagine.
At least, he won't smell their breath, but other people will, and it might help a little.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see they have like sucked the whole, like half of the tube out at this point, and they just finish it up, and they just go minty, and they flick out this little knife that they had been given from Gibbs from their side, and just cut the spent half of it off, and then just squeeze the rest into their mouth.
That's so gross.
But yeah, they're very happy with these hygiene kits.
So can
4
we
out of 5
add
Yosokis recommend it.
Can we add a little like appendix on the bottom of his wanted poster that includes theft from hotels?
Yeah, I mean,
He stole those tiny little soaps.
My mom did that.
Yeah.
So-
Bubs will after he does that, he'll give one finally to Mr. Amito.
Ew.
Well, no, cleanliness is not just like
I don't
it's for everyone. It's the gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So you bring him this little bag, and he takes it, and he goes, "What, are we being robbed or something?" And he opens it up and goes, "Oh, this is useful. Thanks."
Yeah. I'm Bubs, by the way. We kind of met on the ship before, or the vast ship before Spice kind of punched you.
He smiles at that, and he says, "Yeah, it's kind of a thing with the women in my family." He looks you up and down a little bit, and he says, "Maybe it's just because it's so late, but what's your deal? You seem kind of sad."
Oh, you don't know how it is. It's, love issues and family issues, but mostly just, I don't know, it's hard. Have you ever, I know you've had your fair share of lovers, right?
You can see he smiles and just kind of looks up, and you can see he's like going through these thoughts, and he says, yeah, a lot. Probably too many. Yeah, I could help you.
I don't know if you're maybe the person to give me advice.
I've had some bad luck, but I know a lot about loving people. I have like 20 kids.
Oh God.
I should have ended with that. He should have ended before the second sentence.
I just want one lover. I don't need many. But why did things not work out with you and Spice's mom?
I was thinking that. Make a diplomacy check.
Yeah, wait a sec.
Persuasion
So
check.
you just outed yourself and
That is
knowing
all.
Huh?
him. Okay.
No, yeah, I do.
You could have been a stranger, or
No, he knows I'm from Mosaic Team 5. I'm pretty sure.
well, I don't think Hisoka knows about how we dated.
He still doesn't.
Yeah, he still does.
Okay.
And Bubby's okay.
He just knows that you guys like share a lot of secrets apparently. But
Okay.
yeah,
You guys fucked.
Ooh, that is 14 blues.
+4.
What is this, diplomacy?
yeah.
+2.
I am very good at diplomacy.
It says
24.
Okay.
So my new diplomatic officer over here.
Oh, Bob is learning social skills as the game progresses.
With the
so
24,
That's how he's.
he looks at you and he says, "It's never one reason. Anybody who tells you that it's one reason that a relationship doesn't work out doesn't understand relationships. They're hard. And no matter how much you love somebody, people change. And, between you and me, I've got some problems. Do you know about gambling?"
Yeah, I know. One of my mentors, Steele, he told me never to ever do it.
Well, probably good advice if I'm being honest, but the thing is, once you start it, it's a little hard to stop, especially when you're good at it.
Yeah.
But we got into a lot of trouble. Playing craps, playing Pai Gow, Baccarat. I was...
Spice's mom?
No, Spice's mom would never. But she's better than I am.
Bubs is like,
And you can see, like, in this individual who's very much, like, flippant and kind of, like, there's a lot of spice in him. Just, like, real, genuine sadness.
in the moment, Bubs realized that, like, I know what it's like to see some flaws in yourself and think you're irredeemable. But I have to believe that maybe things will work out even, you know. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you seem kind of old, but you know, hey, I believe there's always a chance for things to work out. At least I hope. He means that in like a kid.
No, I know. He's thinking about how to respond to that. But
The initial shock of being like, ouch, you shit.
If a kid calls you
look
old, it's
old.
like kind of like
no,
ah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think it's the initial shock, and then they're like, well,
He is-
okay, compared to this kid, like, yeah, I am ancient.
IRL, has anybody called you old man or old lady?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I worked with teenagers for a solid decade. Like, I was an old
Same.
man forever.
It's old at fucking 16.
Yeah.
But like a child calling you old man.
All the time.
Yeah.
Literally all the
Okay,
time.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But he looks at you, Bubbles. Sorry, you just said...
I think that
Old man.
There's always a chance to redeem yourself.
He's going to pull you in at this. He's going to just drop this, like, case, this little thing that you just gave him on the ground. He's going to pull you in, and he's going to say, I believe the same thing. And I want to make it right. You mentioned Spice's mom. She's not even the only person that I hurt. There's a lot of people. I get why Spice is mad at me. I deserve this. I deserve worse. But one last job, and we can be home free. And I can make sure that Spice and Robin and Nami and all of them never have to worry again. And even if they don't want to see me, I could at least make their lives better.
What is the job?
Make another diplomacy check. And take a +2 conditional modifier to this one.
Those are the words of a gambler for sure.
Ooh, 16 plus. Hold on.
Plus 10.
Yes,
28.
thank you.
28.
Okay. So, with the 28, he takes your communicator, which you realize is in his hand,
Yeah.
and he turns it on and enters into the infosphere. He searches for a
I'm
place
just
called
watching as he does this.
Vakar Vixis, and it brings it up, and you can see this is Vesk that he's searching, and it switches over to common in your infosphere. Ah, the man's. Hey, nobody. I'm sorry that we're in your room.
Can you bring her up?
Him.
Oh.
He's just got a high voice because of the castration. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, mans. This is Oreo. He's the best man.
The Varkas Vixus?
Vakar Vixis, which you see switch over to common, vanity, and vice in Vesk. And this website brings up a Vesk casino that is just this glorious kind of floating structure that hovers in the actual atmosphere, not in space, but like high above the clouds of Vesk Prime. This is like probably one of the nicest casinos in the Veskarium. And Hisoka says, so, this place, I know a guy who said that we can come in And there is going to be a time in the very near future where there is going to be 20 million credits worth of diamonds. Untraceable. We get those diamonds, problem's gone.
Wait. And Bubs is like, gonna try to stop him right before he says, we get those diamonds.
Yeah.
No. And like Bubs is like disgusted. He's like, you say you wanted to do this for them, but you want to do this for yourself. Oh.
No.
I've had a lot of long talks with Spice, and you know what? Yeah, she may be in debt a lot of money, but you know what? She's never really cared that much about money per se. She likes the times that come with money, the experience. She just wants to be with people, the good that comes with money, not the actual wealth that comes from it. If you want to care for your family, maybe you should actually try thinking what they want. Maybe a relationship with them.
Make a sense motive check. You've already made your diplomacy check. Those words, you can see they pause them for a moment.
Teen.
That's what I heard too.
A teen.
15. Do I get any bonuses?
10 is just teen. No.
Okay.
No. This is for you to kind of sense how that landed with him.
Yeah.
You can see he quietly takes that in. He doesn't respond. And you're not sure what that means, how he perceived that, but he just kind of nods a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Sometimes I kind of say the dumb things. I don't know.
You clearly care about everybody in your little squad, team,
Yeah, Mosaic Team 5.
and your team very much.
Team workers.
You shouldn't be. Never feel sorry for that. Never apologize for that.
Yeah, I mean, Spice is a team worker. I care about her very, very deeply.
He smiles and he says, "Well, I'm glad that she's working with you then.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, Bubbles, just stay close to her. Make sure that she's safe. I hear what you're saying. But I told you, it's hard."
I know. It's hard for me too.
And
I'll
he just
I'll
nods.
just get up and I'll walk away.
Okay, no problem. That occurs. Anything else before you find sleep and we roll into the full day of drift travel?
She just wants to figure out what we're gonna do with all of these passengers.
Okay.
Party.
Just
kidding.
I am running out of
No.
battery off.
But, well,
Because I keep hot swapping, but it's not. I'm eventually gonna run out.
It's so wild, your technology solutions here.
Is
and
there
how
like-
many cords
Is there
they
an
do.
extension, like a surge protector? Anything I can jump onto?
We've sort of...
Is there anything upstairs?
I'll take a look during the break. I'm not sure. I didn't plan. I don't plan for this level of...
Yeah, sorry, I didn't plan for this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I do apologize.
Charge.
Part of
a-
planning to not have this happen is to have like a this century laptop,
Yeah.
one that does not run on a clay battery.
No, 'cause I'll go home and I'll...
I think we need to start
It's
a
tonight.
Patreon fund for Dan's new
He
laptop.
won't take it though.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, it's
So
if your shit breaks,
Echo-
then you slow down
Go
the
ahead.
stream.
Echo wants to work with Shade and ask their batch like where they want to be left off.
Okay.
To like it would be best to have them like make their way. Echo trusts every single one of them to like give them the vivarium like beacon. But whether or not the captain will allow that is another thing.
If it's allowed, the group would be happy to go to the vivarium and then figure out their next moves from there, with the exception of the one who,
Wants
Sanji.
to be a chef.
yeah.
We'll take the
He's trying
chef
to
with
find
us.
East Blue.
They're gonna go to the resort, and it'll be great.
Okay, cool.
Have Sanji come to the
They're good for
resort.
I mean,
Or
true.
8, 5,
I
7.
didn't plan on this breaks.
What was his name?
58.
58. 58's coming to the resort. He's our personal chef.
Hey.
Your personal chef.
548.
There. Your personal chef.
Okay, no worries. So the day goes by. All of you at one point find long rest,
Sorry.
presumably.
Yeah.
Okay. All of you find long rest, presumably at some point. And when you do complete that long rest, you could mark off and level up.
Yeah!
Nice.
For you, Shade, as you are kind of doing this, you watch this stats on salvage ship drop steadily, like further and further back.
So it's not. Oh, okay.
Huh?
I was wondering what was going on with it because I was gonna. I didn't want to let it pass up.
Well, you pulled out in front of them on this like quote unquote highway. They're headed in the same direction but slower.
Okay.
So you're just pulling away from them. If you want, you can slow down and let them catch up to you.
I think like next day I would probably want to maybe hail them and get contact or something.
Okay,
But
sure.
yeah.
So the day passes, you all level up, and we come to on the 8th of June. This is Friday. Right around 9 a.m., most of you have woken up, with the exception of perhaps one or two of you who partook in some beverages the evening before.
Me and Mesra. I find her at the foot of my bed somehow.
Nope.
Gibbs is in a rat
Okay.
pile.
Bezra is sleeping in the cargo bay.
we
She
know-
tried multiple places, and that's where she ends up.
Okay.
Do we know where the Isoki want to go? Presumably back to Petrus 4, right? But we can't take them all away.
Yeah, and they'll take whatever way there. So ultimately, they would tell Gibbs, like, if the
Drop 'em off
if
at the
the
bus station.
fastest route is just to find a transport off of Kalu Kalu, they can do that. It's a resort planet. There are transports there.
Okay.
There's not a centralized spaceport in the same way that there is, but there's definitely routes out, and Gibbs can set that up.
Okay. Because yeah, I think at a certain point the next day I'd want to get the crew together to discuss what we do with all of the prisoners / passengers.
Sure.
I have an idea.
Like all of us to the cockpit maybe, since that's the only non
I
lived
think
in space.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So you can call everybody to the cockpit. In the morning, all of you get that summons. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are.
I think that Mesra's great. And we have a good rapport. She helped us. We're helping her get to this planet. Maybe she'll help us on our mission if we help her with her
That was
mission.
my intention. Her
Great.
bounty is low. It is negligible.
How do you feel about doing the same for Natilda?
I've already spoken with Natilda.
Is she going to help us?
Natilda is going to be going on her own.
So that was a no.
We are
So we
staying
should throw her
in
onto the
contact.
bus and put her into
If
the
you let me finish.
Okay, you're not speaking fast enough.
You spoke over me.
Go.
We are staying in contact with Natilda. They will reach out if there's any important information that they can share.
Okay, information, money. I think we should turn her in.
I think it would be valuable to have insight into Jacinto's inner motives. Without being in contact with Jacinto themselves.
Bobby,
Yeah,
what do you think?
It's just money. I don't really
Just
care.
money. We need money to survive.
Natilda can search for information that we otherwise do not have time to.
Fine.
Specifically information about Jacinto and what their involvement is with the USR's plans.
I'm overruled. So be it. Lost in that best prison barge, we have no money coming out. That's disastrous.
Is there any indication that Natilda would go back to work for Jacinto?
From our conversation, it seems unlikely. However, I believe that she would work for the highest bidder.
We are not the highest bidder. I'm not paying her jack fucking shit.
I do have some reservations then. She has seen all of us, and we are not exactly on friendly terms with Jacinto.
We will speak with her before we depart. You can determine for yourself.
We're bounty hunters, I'm just saying. She's a bounty.
Your father troubles me.
Oh, yeah, that piece of shit. We should have kept him in the dying best prison. I don't know why he's on this goddamned ship.
We have your father on the ship.
Let's turn him
I
in
did
for
not
money.
notice.
What?
I did not notice.
Oh, well, that loud yelling earlier, that was just me snoring. Anyway, isn't there a bounty on him? Let's turn that motherfucker in.
There isn't one, right? There isn't an active bounty.
I thought there was.
I believe there is.
They didn't give us the bounty.
No, I don't have. I don't
I
have.
gave Shade the bounty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have.
It didn't have
a
an
printout.
actual value, though.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
I'll double check, but I believe it's just $1 million on them. And then, depending on where you look, there may or may not be some additional addendums
So
to
the
that.
carbon cartel.
But on the one that you got, I believe there is a 1 million credit bounty.
That's better than Plog. My heart goes out to Plog. I love Plog. They would have been a great companion. They would have done so much for the Bovarium. Anyway. Yeah, my dad, we can turn that motherfucker in.
Your father is working for Blaraz.
So?
Blaraz was someone from my past who would have information about.
Well, then ask him, and then we turn him in.
Your father is difficult to speak with.
You're telling me. Tell me something I don't know.
He does not lie, but he is very good at obscuring the truth.
Wow, sounds like the worst person to have on this ship.
It makes extracting valuable information difficult.
I don't want my dad around. That's not a lie.
Then we are in agreement.
So we turn him in. Perfect.
There is still more information that is of
So
personal
you're trying to
value.
keep him around? What are your intentions then?
I would like to get the information that he has about Vloraz's whereabouts.
And how are you gonna do that?
I do not know. Which is
So we
why
turn him
I
in.
ask you.
I haven't talked to my dad since I was 8. I can't help you. He's a fuckface, if I haven't said that loud enough. You cannot trust a fucking word that comes out of that hellspawn's mouth. Do not, he is not on your side, he will not help you. Let's turn him in, get the money, and go. He's going to try to use you, and don't fall for his dumb trap.
Where do you suggest we drop him off?
At the bounty collection, obviously. When we get to fucking Aphrodite. They always have the bounty
Unfortunately,
collection.
do not have any stakes in this. It is purely your decision, Captain. It seems
Purely his decision! That's my father!
I apologize.
Accepted.
I have the same thoughts. I have no opinion.
He may have information about what your mother was working on.
So does Matilda. That was an interesting conversation that we didn't have enough time to talk about with her. So I'm gonna put all of my chips into Matilda.
I do not quite trust Matilda as well.
Who do you
Same.
trust more, Matilda or scumbag, cheater, gambler, fuckface?
I have not met scumbag, cheater, gambler, fuckface.
You don't need to. You're better off without it.
But Matilda did leave out quite a bit of information.
I think she's the one you should mine information for.
I believe we're dealing with two very similar individuals.
Agreed.
Whatever you decide, Captain.
Let's turn one in and keep one. Sound like a deal.
I have a suggestion. Entertain. With apologies,
I don't know if I forgive you this time.
entertain them a while longer. Spice. Perhaps as he is your father, you might be able to manipulate some information in your favor.
Echo!
I agree.
Echo!
I think
Not
that's
you two.
a good idea.
Would it
What
not
What do you think, Captain?
Me?
would it not give you joy to wring out truths from that one which has lied to you your whole life?
Okay, so you see in Spice's mind, there's a quick snap too of like Hisoka tied to a chair, and Spice like using some disgusting mangling tool and gouging out his eyes and like his heart, and being like, yes, the information I could get out of someone without a tongue would be pretty useful.
You are telepathic. That is
So is
true.
he. Oh, that's okay. Well, different. And then you see it, spikes going into his brain.
Perhaps there is some connection that could be utilized.
I don't trust that motherfucker, and he's the least trustworthy, and I trust Natilda more.
I
trust
trust
neither.
Matilda not at all.
So you trust Hisoka more than you trust Natilda?
It is not a matter of who I trust more.
Well, it's who we're turning in.
It is a matter of whether we turn either of them in and whether they have useful information for us. Shade believes that Matilda and Hisoka do. I believe that while Hisoka may have useful information for Shade,
Okay.
Matilda represents a greater threat.
I'll make a deal with you, Shade. I'll give you 3 days with Hisoka, and then you let me turn him in. Deal or no deal?
I don't need 3 days.
1 day. Much better for me.
Wait,
I would like to have all of the members not on our crew off of the ship before we reach the spa.
Deal or no deal? Don't change the subject.
That would fall within the regards of your deal.
Where
I
would you
don't
like
understand.
to have them dropped off?
This is what we still need to determine.
I do not trust certain individuals with the locations of the vivarium.
Namely,
Matilda and Hisoka.
that was never going to be one of the options.
You can
Okay.
see in the cockpit a blue light turns on.
Director.
You can see the director has made themselves more present within this conversation, and suddenly they speak up and they say, "An alternative suggestion is to allow me to pilot them to the vivarium using the shuttle."
I would appreciate that if you were to pilot the Echo units at least, if not the Scab Rats as well. Although I believe the Scab Rats were satisfied with taking a shuttle off of the resort planet.
The scab rats should be able to handle themselves at this point.
I
believe
trust them, yeah.
Our two
They're
main
scrappy.
focuses should be Hisoka and Natilda Summit.
Could we not, if we are to let them go, use one of our drift beacons to stop by, perhaps, Lola's? We would not require to ferry them somewhere else. Merely let them go.
If we are to
Let them go, that's not an option.
Lola's would be a good destination.
It is unobserved and does not have regular routes.
As a reminder, using a drift beacon will only add 24 additional hours to your travel, but traveling from the drift beacon to Elysium will take up to 6 days. We currently have 22 hours remaining until we reach Elysium.
I don't think we need to make another stop just to drop Natilda off at Lola's.
Would dropping them off at the resort at the port be satisfactory?
I
Fucking
suppose
better
we'll
be.
need to speak with them again.
I do desire to speak with Matilda separately from everyone, if that is all right.
Why?
That's fine.
Why?
I plan to use aggressive techniques, and I would like it to remain quiet.
What do you mean by aggressive? I have whips and chains if you need them.
Spice, whatever techniques you might wish to use on your father, I do not
Ew!
employ with Matilda. You suggested aggressive techniques of interrogation.
Spice has swirly eyes because she's so grossed out. But she didn't hear the second half of that.
So wait, is Spice gonna talk to her father?
I had suggested it, as they have similar modes of communication.
Yeah, I think so too.
Circle.
Captain, what do you think?
It is not up to me. I do think that it would be a wise move, but
Oh, so it's up to me? I say let's bring him in dead and return him for money.
No, we're talking about to talk to him, not what.
Yeah, she's given you her answer.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's, I think if it's not up to Shade and it's up to me, I think we beat the fucking motherfucking shit out of an inch of his life, turn him alive, and he dies in the cell where he belongs.
would that satisfy you?
You can't give back all the misery of growing up without a father. You can't give back 20 million credits, Shade. This man only causes me hurt. And no, it won't, but it will end it. It will stop.
Echo would use the whisper calm to Spice.
Okay.
Because at this point,
She's like, whoa, you never used that on me before. What?
there's a little bit of like extra pride that Echo thinks is involved here. I believe that Hisoka may have information that would assist Shade, but he does not want to ask you to interrogate your father. I believe that you would find much joy in getting truth from your father, and also, potentially, using him as another chip in your leverage against the carbon cartel. Whatever outcome you desire with your father, I think it would be beneficial, if not to your ego.
I do need to keep boosting my ego.
Then at the very least, to Shade's discoveries of his past. Consider this when you make your decision. Wink.
So she's like midway through being like, I think we should make it. And then she's like, wait.
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Yeah.
Potato.
Wait. I think I might be onto something.
So smooth. Wow. No insight check needed. You feel as if Echo may have had some involvement in this. Spice is like, I think that Echo, I came up with something.
Oh my gosh, Echo! I just had a great idea.
Cool! Wow!
Yeah.
Anyways, no problem. You shut off the whisper comms, and as you sort of have a solid plan, a vague plan,
So I'm interrogating Hisoka to get Shade's backstory out of him?
unclear,
Okay.
but with the
What?
beginnings of the process of thinking about concepts of a plan.
Nice.
Because it is 8:30, we're going to step away for a quick break, and we'll come back after 10 minutes
With a solid plan.
with a solid plan. We will see you. There's a little
plan.
countdown down there. We'll see you at the end of it.
Hey.
and welcome back.
We've been here the whole time.
Thank
Never
you for
left.
joining us. If you are joining us from not before the break, and if you were here before the break, welcome back to Starfinder. We are going to... I'll tell you guys also, I way over prepared for this week because in my mind, you guys were like, it was going to be maybe 30 minutes of like role play and then bam, right into the resort.
Come on, man. You know us.
We have so many fucking people on our ship to deal with.
I didn't remember Hisoka, honestly, and with just forgetting that one person, that's like a pretty big deal. And then, anyways. And part of me was hoping that you guys just would like wait until you got to the resort and be like, we have 20 extra people. What do we do with them? Because that would be very funny.
They can all sleep in the lobby.
I thought very distinctly about like rooming capacity of the planet and like how that might work, and but not important apparently. So
Also, now I have to go to Dodson's.
So one thing to note as you are having this conversation about what to do with the various members of the kind of rescued
Vesk prisoners.
Yeah, it's just a variety of Yosoki and Android and other that have kind of conglomerated onto your ship. This ship is now like sinking steadily farther and farther behind you. This is the Datsun salvage kind of supply shuttle. Are you doing anything to interact with it?
Is there a way to hail it?
Yeah, you can absolutely send them a message. You want to do that?
Yeah, I want to ping them.
Is it near us, are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in visual range. Still, it's pretty hard to see now, but it's still close enough that you can see. You send this communication out across. It rings once or twice, and then there is no video. The voice comes across through the audio, and the video just shows a very cartoony picture of a man. The man is wearing like a frying pan on the back of their head, and across the voice certainly matches the picture as they say, "Hey now, I'll tell you what, you look like a ship that's got an eye for a deal, a nose for some toes, and the knees for some stees. You looking to buy? I'm your guy, plickety that son. What you want?"
I love this guy.
A need for steeds.
Hello? Anybody there?
Hello.
Hey.
I'm looking for information.
Well, now, fella, I'll tell you, information isn't something I got, but I got appliances, I got tape, I got bowling balls, I got billiard balls, I got TV terrarium combos, one that's so big you could watch a movie on it. I got tents, I got a portaledge tent, in fact, fresh in as of yesterday. I got pickles. I got pickled carrots, I got pickled celery, I got assorted veg, I got chromite slugs, I got pig's feet, I got eggs, I got goat eyes, all these things available for you for 10 credits each. I got Kimberly androids. It's a orange tabby cat. I named him Kimberly Androids. A little bit of a wonky hair, red collar comes with the cat. Little cybernetic for many people's tastes. You know what? Kimberly Androids ain't for sale. No. I got analog network cables. I got cable TV guides, air souvenirs, Castrovel souvenirs, religious statues, golf clubs, grapefruit candy, bedside lamps, egg warmers, freezers, obliterators, wicket mounters, wicket taker downers, hamster warpers, microphone accessories. I have a single tennis ball my daddy gave me, and I will sell that to you if you want it, because I ain't got no arms. But that's show business. I got USR Infosphere guides. I got icon cutouts. I got the Wavemaker 50 endorsed by Chad Attitude himself. May God's rest his soul.
He died?
I have a Wonder Friend Zonifier. I got pine cones. Y'all like pine cones?
We love pine cones.
I got pine cones. I got
So
mirrors. I got communicator wipes. I got squeaky clean gum. I got space cola.
You can come.
I got squeaky clean gum. It's pretty aggressively mint flavored. I got a couple packs of it.
you
You got to
have
sign a
arms?
waiver if you're gonna buy it. What?
Arms.
Do you have ship?
I got a mummy's
stuff?
hand.
That is not a whole arm.
It's pretty cool though. It's magic. I got it from a guy who swears up and down it's magic, and I'll part with it for 50,000 credits.
That's a fucking ton of credits.
It's a mummy's hand.
Do you have...
Does it crawl across the floor?
I got keynote speaker podiums. I got Florida Key snow globes, but I ain't got no arms.
Do you have matching salt and pepper shakers? Because we have, like, not a matching set, and, like, it really bothers me, because, like, it's like, why don't they match? Because, like, you know, they go together, so why don't they match?
I don't really have salt and pepper shakers. I don't like pepper, but I do have a culinary synthesizer Mark III. It is available for 50% of market retail. It only makes gelatin.
Oh.
Lame.
1,700 credit.
But also, how close is gelatin to nutrient cubes? Is there still nutrient cubes?
You'd be asking how close the
I don't know what that means, but sure.
I'm gonna take that as a no,
Jello shots.
which are amazing, but it's still extra work for me.
Synthesizer Mark III can make intoxicants. You want Jello shots? This is your machine.
What do you have in the name of our Lord and Savior Hylax? Do you have one of those crosses, which is actually just a Sharen holding maybe a cross? I kind of forget what hers. It's a Sharen. Wait, with skulls around her head.
For which, Hylax?
Yeah, Hylax.
Javier has one of the tattoos. It's like this insectoid head, I believe. And I can't remember. It has like a crown above
Crown.
it.
Yeah, it's something like that.
But yeah, they would say, absolutely. I got a Hylax statuette just for you. I got a Hylax prayer candle. I even got a Hylax cardboard cutout if you want.
I'll take all 3. Well, wait. I'm poor, obviously. So I am going to need you to look at me. I clearly don't come from money. In fact, I'll tell you a story. My deadbeat dad is on my ship right now, and I have to go fucking talk to him. You know, my life is a living hell.
Make
Hear
a
the
diplomacy
door
check.
open and close as Echo just leaves the cockpit. They're like, oh, okay.
And Spice, like, yeah, she's like, I feel like, does that count? Does that count?
No, that's cocked.
No! I want it to be this one. Okay, please be good.
Come on.
Okay, was it? Okay, all right. Diplomacy.
Is it good?
It's 34.
Ooh.
So yeah.
34?
34. She's like, yeah, my deadbeat ass dad. I need some help from the gods.
You say deadbeat dad?
I said deadbeat
You hear
ass
whoof,
dad.
whoof, and you see the static on the screen and the little cartoon like face shake, and then suddenly you are not looking at a cartoon anymore. You are looking at a real person. You are looking at Plickety Datsun themselves. They are an armless blind man who wears a large red ushanka, which is like one of those kind of Russian style hats with the little flops that go down. You can see they kind of gesture towards the camera, though they're facing just slightly off to the left. And they say, can't really see you, but I know about deadbeat dads. Let me tell you something. I had a daddy. He left me a shuttle full of junk and a dream.
Oh my god, a dream?
He says, let me tell you, I got ion tape.
Okay.
I got nylon tape. It doesn't work as well as ion tape, but I got a lot of it.
Is it sodium tape?
That portal edge tent that I talked about, you can erect a tent on any surface, even if it is just a ledge or a cliff. Kind of
Does it
helpful
have
for
air
that.
inside?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't buy the pickles. I buy them at the store. But
fine pickles.
Kimberly Androids, I would sell Kimberly Androids to you. She's got rocket powered legs. And I could also sell you, you don't need internet cables. You don't need cable TV guys. You don't need a baseball glove or a broken hoverboard. You might need,
I feel like Gibbs would really like a broken hoverboard.
I mean, I could sell you a broken hoverboard for 10 credits.
Yeah, give me the broken hoverboard.
Okay. You can see there's like some shuffling around off screen. They say, if you want that statuette of Hylax, I'll give you a deal. 20 credits.
She like fake goes, I don't know.
15 credits. That's the lowest I can do.
Fine. Throw in the cardboard cutout and you have a deal.
All right, deal.
Okay, thank you.
There's some more like clumping around. And they say, so I call this an egg obliterator, but it's actually a thermal selection grenade, and I got 4 of them. So if you want those,
I mean,
I typically sell them for about 10,000 credits each to people who know what they are, but for you,
look at us. Do you, like everybody on the camera, do you think we know how to throw a grenade?
again, I cannot stress this enough.
You
I'm
can't
blind.
see. Yeah.
But, you know, you sound kind of poor, so 7,000 credits each.
Do we have, Spice is going to reach into Shade's mind and go, hand it over.
Do we have?
No,
No, we have a grenade printer.
Oh, we
don't
do?
need this.
Oh, and
Yeah,
then
but
she
this
goes,
guy sells
So
it
a
with a
thermal
song.
selection grenade 4 exceeds the item level at which your grenade printer could work. This is a 10,000 credit grenade that he's selling.
Fine.
I just want to buy stuff from this guy.
What is-
I know, I really like him.
This guy's better than
And, so,
Jesse.
and also for what it's worth, right now he is going through what are like actual items that might be helpful to you. He's putting aside the rest of the things that are just like
The tent was pretty
noise.
cool too.
Yeah.
that was a real thing. That's why I said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So-
Echo's not there.
Clickety. But obviously, I don't come from money. So how about we'll do 2 thermal selection grenades and the ion tape for 14,000.
I think we have
Make a diplomacy check.
already. Have we stopped?
Oh, you did? I don't know. I'm just trying to get more
Yeah,
out of
just
this
get
guy.
more,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I maybe should have. I'm not gonna be like throwing Kimberly Android.
No, he said he wasn't selling them, and then he said he was.
And then he said he was
Yeah.
because he also has a deadbeat dad. All right, here's the
But it's
diplomacy
his
check.
cat.
It's his dad's cat though.
You can't take a blind man's cat. That's so
It's not.
cruel.
It's a blind man's dad's.
Dad's cat.
Dad's
Blind
cat.
man's
We.
deadbeat
Say that 5
Yeah.
times fast.
cannot.
All right, so this is gonna be a high check. All right, here we go.
Ooh, yeah, cats.
I would have to file a bunch more paperwork for a second.
So
Mosaic.
20,
Bubba's about to get a litter box.
36 plus 4, 40. 40.
Okay.
40.
You got yourself a deal. And I know you don't have a lot of money, but I have a possibility I could sell you as well.
Oh, I am sold on possibilities.
You ever heard of a timeshare?
Oh my god.
I got a timeshare on Mars, and it's a beautiful penthouse, and I have it every single day of the week.
Oh my god.
But I didn't really read the fine print. I have it every day of the week, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. I really should have read it. But the view, beautiful. It's at the Black Sphinx Luxury Accommodations in Aphrodite, and I could sell it to you for 10,000 credits.
Oh my god, is this the
Can
swamp
I
land scam?
like under the counter like peep for money?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Spice is going to like peep for. So I'm gonna ask for 14,000 plus 10,000, right, for the timeshare?
Okay,
Yeah. So it's what is that?
24,000.
Yeah. So she's gonna go and she's going to say, "Safe house on Mars," and she'll give.
Plickety says, I can hear you thinking real hard over there. So before you do, and before you finalize any financial thoughts, let me also just key you in on something else I got for you.
Yeah.
I sell any keys. I got a line on some any keys, and I can sell them to you at cost, 1,000 credits each. Also, something to consider. I say that it's a mummy's hand, and the truth of the matter is it might be a mummy. What I'm really selling is a ring.
What kind of ring is on that beautiful
I don't know what
married
it does,
hand?
but it's a magic item called the Ring of the Ninth Truth, and I hear it's pretty valuable.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds really cool. How much are you selling the mummy's hand for again, hun?
Now, before I say this number, you gotta understand this is a legendary magical artifact, and it's not the kind of thing that just rolls around every day, and this is not something I can negotiate on the price for. This is firm.
Okay.
50,000 credits.
Oh! 50,000 credits!
It's a magical item.
Oh my goodness. And she's like, beep, 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 under the table, and she adds 50,000 credits to. So it's 24 plus 50,000, and she's beeping under the table, like, what's that, Morse code to peep? Being like, all right,
Do you know
peep.
Morse code?
You know
No,
ALS.
I know ALS, so she's probably like signing and then having the director like translate the signing under the table into common to peep. He's blind, so she can sign in front of everything
You can.
inside.
It's more like, how is a director with no hands going to sign language to your boss?
No, so the director can read
No,
sign
no,
language because he's a bot, and then he's going to translate it to peep.
Called Lost in Translation.
So you send these messages, and you're asking people for 50,000 for a total of $74,000.
$74,000, and I say Plickety's giving us a good rate on a magical ring on grenades and items that are for Mosaic Team 5's safety XOXO Spice.
Oh, in the timeshare?
Oh, yeah. How much was the timeshare? I can't forget.
Joe, I have a question.
10,000.
It was 10,000. Yeah.
Wait, can we sense motive on the timeshare? Because I just
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm in the cockpit.
Sense motive. Yeah, go for it.
Because sometimes you can buy a timeshare and like it can be used up for the year already, and then we have to wait a whole year to use it, and then we have to pay the dues.
Sure.
Then,
They said specifically it's every day of the week. The problem is it's from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Right, so
and
it's
so
strictly at night.
it's like you get like a 6-hour shift of this timeshare every day. It's like really poorly worked.
oh, I don't even think I have to go for that, even though I
You
wrote
no, and so like, and they fully said I didn't read the term and conditions before
Right.
I bought
Yeah,
it. That's
I
it
missed
was a
that part.
problem. It's probably worth significantly more than 10,000 credits if you could find a way to monetize.
If you find
Well,
someone else with a timeshare who has the
Who
other
doesn't need to
hours.
sleep?
There are
Androids don't
definitely
need to sleep.
businesses
the
that could
Echoes
make
can
use of
stay
that
on the
space.
timeshare. Maybe. If they need to rest. I
But
don't
no
know.
worries. So how much are you requesting?
So 24 for what was so 24 was so 14,000 for the 2 grenades, 10,000 for the timeshare, and then the ring is 50,000. So that's so it's 74,000.
Okay. Almost immediately, you get a contact from Peep. It's like 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so he's like probably just up, has just sat down. You can like imagine him in his little Yosoki desk back at the vivarium. Like probably has his coffee. He's like all ready to go, like happy and bright as could be.
Morning,
Everything
Daddy.
is good.
Money,
And then he
please.
gets this like request for almost 100 grand.
Real quick before,
Yeah.
in case we mess up our relationship with,
Plickety?
can I get his contact information?
We'll get back to that in a second.
Oh man.
So and you already have his transponder at least stored in your ship's
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
But
cool.
for you, Peep appears on your communicator
So she's got 2 communications open.
and he says, Spice, where are these funds going to?
She says Plickety salvage ship or whatever it's called. What is it called?
Oh,
Stats
Datsun.
Insolvent.
That guy?
Yeah, he has great deals. Did you know he had a timeshare that we can use from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.? Seems fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really weird guy, but all kinds of good stuff that he has, and sometimes he doesn't even really know what he has, so
It
you can
doesn't
really
seem
get
like
a
he
feel.
understands. He's got a ring of the night that he's selling me for 50,000.
I don't know what that is.
It's good.
Okay,
We should do it.
okay, look, Javier called and he said that you guys had a successful mission. He said that you probably rescued like a whole bunch of bounties and stuff, so assuming that that's all true, I can forward you about 100,000 credits to use during this relaxation excursion, and then, once we figure out the exact amount, I can transfer any remaining difference to you guys.
You're an angel, Peep.
But to be clear, this is for the whole team, right?
Obviously. Who do you
Okay.
think I am?
Peep out. And he terminates the communication. And a moment later, on your communicator, you would see that you have access to those funds.
So I have a Spice has 100,000?
You have exactly 100,000 credits.
This is so bad. I'm so sorry, you guys, in advance.
It's fine.
I need to really think about how she's going to spend this. Okay, so back to Plickety here. So we're like, all right, and she's going to slowly. So Spice on like Plickety's end, you see her doing the math out. She's like, all right, here's 14,000 for 2 grenades. Yep, here you go. She'll send over 14,000. Are any of you stopping her?
Echo's not there.
I have a
Bob
question.
wouldn't stop you.
Are
Okay.
you asking Plickety? Yeah!
What can you tell me about product that you used to sell?
Well, it depends on the product.
Can you look up Ring of the Night for the
Androids.
dots?
Ooh, I've sold a couple of them, mostly decommissioned for parts and things like that, but what Android?
Myself.
I don't recall a myself unit. What was the specifications of it?
Synthetic humanoid.
Do you need another key?
Designed for aeronautic defense and exploration.
Oh, the Shade unit. Yeah, that was brought in all beat up and wrecked. Hang on one sec. And you can see he turns around and his hand like thrusts out of the screen and you can hear some motion and movement. And he says,
So it's DNA-mated? No, we're buying.
yeah, I came across that unit right around 2248. found it in a twisted wreck of junk. Some kind of spaceship accident, maybe.
I wasn't listening to that because you see Spice is doing math on
Yeah,
her head,
no worries.
and then she's like, "All right, here's a big one. The big 5-0 for this ring of the ninth.
Oh, you're taking the mummy hand.
I want the hand with it though.
All right, just remember, any curse is on you.
Curses.
I mean, I haven't noticed anything, but I also didn't put it on because it's on a mummy's hand.
Yeah, we'll probably have to clean it, right?
I would recommend that, but I ain't the boss of you.
No, you're not. Send it over.
You send the money, and after like a little bit, there are like these notifications, and there are 2 very small shuttles, each about the size of a shoebox, barely picked up on your scanners. They're smaller than like missiles, are slowly making their way across the gap between Dotson Salvage and your airlock.
Okay.
Did you find anything else in the wreckage that you sold?
I found all kinds of things. There was supplies marked for Vesk 3. There was all kinds of tiny little clothes. But I think, man, for Skidamandus, because 6 arms, you know. Let me see. I might still have some of the stock left over, actually.
So Vesk 3 salvage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found a bunch of jumper cables and have a little bit of diesel fuel left over from the wreckage. I actually have a Starship bumper off the Starship that we found.
What does a starship bumper do?
Well, if you're landing locally and you bump into another ship, the bumper takes the damage.
And
That
you put
seems
funny
like something.
stickers on it.
I am not a great driver. I am among a crew who is a great driver, but I, myself, am not a great driver. I love the idea of a bumper if it has mechanical benefits.
Well, it does as long as you have a Shavak Var shuttle. It only fits the one kind of craft, you see.
Something tells me I don't have that because I don't even know where this puppy came from.
How much?
I mean, it's just a bumper. 200 credits?
No. How much did I go for?
Oh, I don't rightly remember. Whatever felt right in the time. You're the Shade unit?
Yes.
You don't know that?
No.
That's kind of fucked up. The guy who bought you seemed nice enough. Kind of nervous.
Oh,
Well, hang on one sec. You know, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean for you to end up in some kind of a situation, and I feel really bad about that. Let me send you over something for free. And there's another little ding, and you see like a notification of one more item being sent over. And he says, I don't know if you ever heard of Florida, but I call this a Florida care package.
Have I heard of a Florida?
No, certainly not.
What? Is there gonna be like gators and guns in it? I don't know.
Anything else that you guys want to do with Plickety?
So I spent 64 out of 100,000 credits, and I think if I'm correct, those 100,000 credits are meant for our stay.
Correct. It's better for your team.
Yes. So I could go for the $10,000 timeshare, but Spice, before hitting send, does a quick glance around, and she's waiting for someone to say no.
Bubs is on his comm. He's gonna look something up.
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, what
And
are you buying?
the timeshare.
No.
Okay, so you swat her hand away.
Shade would just block it.
So I
No.
think in that awkward silence of between Plickety and Shade, Spice just goes, "Ooh, okay, well, Plickety, it was so great to see you."
Plickety's gonna say, I got autographs of witnesses from some famous trial. I also got some key lights in case you want to light things really well.
Oh, do you have anything from Katydid Queen by any chance?
I don't have anything from anybody by that name unless they're maybe this La Shunta. And they hold up an old coin and it's facing the wrong way, but as they turn it around, you can see there's like a La Shunta who maybe like there's nothing relating them to the Katie Dick Queen.
Okay.
They're just trying to sell more stuff.
Okay.
Can I do a quick infosphere search on Shrivark-based shuttles and see who makes them?
Yeah, but a quick info. Do you speak Vesk? Remind me.
I do not.
Okay.
So Spice does, and she'll.
So those of you who speak Vesk,
Yeah, Buff will say it out loud.
that term means civil way. And so it's likely a civilian class shuttle. It's not even like a fighter ship. This is like the bumper off a Buick, like a Vesk Buick, that he just has and is willing to part with.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, no.
not there.
Not even for 200 credits. Alright, so we have, so far, a broken hoverboard, 2 grenades, religious candle and cardboard cutout, the Ring of the Ninth. And Shade, did you want to keep your awkward conversation going?
I cut out all conversation. Cut off.
Okay, so Spice is still there, and
I
she
cut
goes,
off the
Pliggity, I'm
communication.
Spice. Sorry that got a little bit weird back there. Thank you for your business, and we'll say hi to Peep. I guess.
All right. And remember, if you ever need to find me, I'll be somewhere. Clickety out. And he terminates.
That's
conversation.
useless, but thank you.
The items all arrive, and just as described, first in the first box,
Did we get the cat? I fucking
You
forgot
didn't
about
get
the
the
No! Damn it, I meant to.
Kimberly Androids is a great cat. It's an orange
Damn it.
tabby with a wonky left ear, a red collar, their back 2 legs and front claws
Wait,
are
Pliggity!
specialty cybernetics, but
Can I wait.
and they dropped out of the drone.
Yeah, sure.
You,
First plugs and now Pliggity.
I know, yeah. You order the 2 egg obliterators. They come in a specially marked egg obliterator carton, but these are 2 thermal selection grenade Mark IVs.
So they're called egg obliterators?
No, that's how he sells them legally.
Oh,
He also sells egg warmer and freezers, which gently heat or cool up to a dozen eggs on a circular tray for 10 credits. But the egg obliterator is the real seller. The second package that you get,
wait, say the grenades. I was too caught up on the egg shit.
a thermal selection grenade Mark IV.
Okay, Mark 4.
The smaller of the 3 boxes that arrives is a wooden crate that is stuffed with hay. And as you open it up, there is a smell that is like overwhelmingly musty, and there is in fact a human's hand that is dried and shriveled. You can see elements of skin that is so like emaciated, it looks almost like leaves that have fallen off trees in the fall, stretched across a frame of bone. And on it, there is a single ring that gleams with this immense magical energy. You can see on the finger itself that is holding it, there is still absolutely clean humanoid flesh that looks still living, that looks still flush with blood. You almost swear you can see it flinch. There is like little bits of hair coming out the back of it. It is like entirely intact, and then the rest of the hand shriveled, emaciated, mummy-like.
Does the fingernail still grow?
No, but it's neatly trimmed. And
She got a pedicure before she died.
Because her nails still grow.
There's something
Ew.
that's kind of a misnomer.
Yeah, but I mean, on a mummy hand, I mean, who knows?
Generally, it's the skin moving away from the
Yeah,
actual
yeah,
cuticle bed that
Oh.
makes it look like they grow. But yeah, so no problem. You can see this emaciated hand and this magical ring. Immensely magical is this ring. This is a level 13 item. And this is not only that, this is a magical item, intrinsically magical. And that is something that we have not had a lot of in this campaign.
No.
So
Is it called Ring
it is
of
called
the
the
Ninth?
Ring of the Ninth Truth. You can find this. It is from the Starfinder Adventure Path number 11, the Penumbra Protocol. And it is a very cool little item.
Obviously, I didn't look it up before I bought it, but it sounded mad cool, so.
The third thing that you get is sort of a middle between the 2 box, and it has a couple different items in it. First, there is 10 Florida Key
that's
snow
really
globes, all that feature different little like things that are Florida related. You could see somebody in like a little underwater home that looks like it was like a skyscraper that was like retrofitted to exist underwater. There's like all kinds of little scenes like that, but you get a set of 10 of them.
Is this the grotto thing?
You get no, this
Okay.
is just Florida Keys snow globes.
Okay.
You get a you have to assemble this, but it is a keynote speaker podium that was manufactured in the Florida Keys. It is large and wooden, but a little bit kind of damaged. And there is a built-in smart display that can sync to a WhisperCom. It's like a nice, like, this would be really nice in like a auditorium. And then there is a gigantic golden key This is like a key to a city.
Oh, that's
Okay.
funny.
A long lost key to a city. You can see like tarnished gold, at one point like brilliant and maybe even plated with real gold. It's so shiny.
Is there the red gate too in the scissors?
No, but like very similar. This
Okay.
might be. It probably wouldn't go in a real lock, but it like symbolizes the commitment to a city.
It's actually
Yeah.
An
chocolate.
ancient, long
based.
lost city called Miami. And you can see that emblazoned across the handle. But
Emma.
yeah, this is the Florida care package.
Aw, I love that. Spice is like aggressively shaking like 4 snow globes.
Yeah, no worries. And then tucked into that crate in the back, almost snapped in half, but still joined mostly by the decal on the front, there is a broken hoverboard.
Amazing. And she's like, Dibs, that's for you.
No problem. So you have all of your items.
Nice.
Plickities continues to fall further and further behind.
And the candle and the cutout, right?
Oh, yes. It's not a candle. It is a statuette.
Oh,
So it's about this big, a statuette of Hylax.
Yep.
It's carved out of stone. It looks hand-carved. It's like a fine carving. And then the cardboard cutout is literally somebody like took a Photoshop picture of like a poster of Hylax and then like remove background and printed it on cardboard.
So we
Very
have
cheap cardboard cutout.
we
Sure, the
have
bacon.
I love that pixel.
you've gone to an artisan and had it handcrafted, and then you have Temu Hylax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1000% two sides of the worship spectrum for Hylax.
I need both for my practice.
And after you get the items, only about 14 hours until you reach this resort place. Yeah.
Echo left the room early. Sorry, you had a thing. Please do your thing.
Oh, well, after that, I was gonna go look for 899.
Wait,
So we'll get back to that in a
Spice stops Shade and goes, wait, you were bought by Peep? Are you bought by Peep?
That was already known.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Right? Did I know that?
Yeah.
Oh. Shit, that was weird. Sorry, I didn't realize it came from Plickety. How do you think Plickety got your body?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And what did we find out?
That I was salvage from a wreckage. Scrap parts.
So are you the only Shade? No, you can't be the only Shade unit.
No, I'm leaving.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, I don't understand. Why won't you tell me?
You're left in your misunderstanding.
I just Bubs and Spice and Bub just
Oh no, don't. I hate it when you switch the cameras over.
I hope he's doing okay.
Who Shade? Yeah, that was mad awkward a second ago. I was gonna die. Oh my god, plickety damn, dude. That was so uncool. Spice says, like, squirming in awkwardness. I can't believe that Plickety said that! Can you?
I don't think Shade is salvage or junk.
Obviously not. He's too smart to be junk.
He's our captain.
What's your point?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to Plickety.
Bub just leaves.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
we
problem.
both just like.
You find your separate places to pass a little bit of time. Echo, you left early?
Echo left way early.
Yeah.
Once it was confirmed that there was no arm, Echo lost interest. Sure.
Oh, I forgot about fucking arms. You're right. Okay. Yep.
Echo has a job to do, and they go find Matilda.
Nice.
And upon finding Matilda, they say, "It has come to my attention that you have not received your medical check. It is required for all who board the ship, and as our medical officer is otherwise detained on family leave, it falls to me."
An elite covert combat courier. What medical training do you have?
I am an intern.
You're an assassin. Whatever it is that you mean to do, speak plainly. I'm stuck here.
I wish to speak with you privately. I do not trust you.
Then you're one of the smarter ones aboard this ship. Where can we speak?
Echo leads them to the medbay
Okay.
and
Go to the
shuts the
med bay.
door.
You shut the door, and Echo, for what it's worth, this is the most secure place on this ship. You know that this is one of the very few places that the director is not even privy to the information.
Oh, you can't hear me cry.
Exactly.
Everybody cries in the med bay.
Yeah, everybody.
It's the walk-in fridge.
How are you
Have
feeling
some
today?
cocoa. And then you just do a medical check. It's really nice.
Let's say ah. We're
Yeah.
gonna check your reflexes.
You just use your finger and you stick
you
it in
feel
your
that?
mouth.
All right. Try the other knee.
All right,
And
so
it
you
just
close
keeps
the
the-
door to the med bay. It is just you and this individual. You can see they still have the briefcase kind of clutched in their hands, but they regard you.
I am surprised the briefcase is still in your possession, considering you were in Vesk custody.
The briefcase is something that you can make people see or not see if you need to.
And your affiliation with Jacinto. Is that also something you can make people see or not see if you want to?
It's part of the job.
Is it still part of the job?
Let me ask you, regardless of what I answer, how likely are you to trust me? Why do you think I was there?
There are many reasons you could be aboard a Vesk transit ship. You were not in the secured section of the facility, which stands to reason they did not find you an incredible threat. And you were not highly valued for some experimental procedure. But perhaps they were aware of the bounty on your head. Whether or not they were aware of how much you knew of Jacinto and its inner workings, as well as its competitors. You know what I am.
Yes,
You know there were others aboard that ship.
yes.
I do not like that.
They nod, and they say, your inexperience in this field shows. It's a shame that the Echo units were never used for their intended purpose. I sense you would have been good at it. This work. I am there because I put myself there. Because, for the time, that was out of Jacinto's reach. There is power in strategic ambiguity.
Indeed. It did not make sense that you would be in such a lackadaisical section of the ship.
Truthfully, the Vesk are not sure why I was there.
An impressive manipulation.
They don't say anything.
And now you find yourself here, with lots of valuable information. Why were you away from Jacinto? And I would ask that you answer truthfully. For while I am not inclined to trust you, I may also be uninclined to kill you.
The truth. People speak about it like it's something that you can hold, but it isn't. A truth looks different depending on how you view it. And so I'm trying to understand the best way to make you see this truth.
What is the truth as you see it?
The truth as I see it is that Jacinto is involved in something it doesn't understand. This organization is not used to that, and so they are making impossibly large mistakes. There is something happening on Oris Bay. Something far more sinister than a resort, or surfing, or even a some sort of a mafia incident at the local casino. I'm not sure what it is yet, but Jacinto has the resources to stop it. They're gathering. I don't know where. I don't know what. And I don't know who. But your friend mentioned Lydell Wilcost, and he is involved, and he knows.
And you wish to aid them?
For as long as it's possible, and it may not be possible for long. I wish to use the resources that I have to be as far away from all of this as possible, until I can see it better. I do not know the truth, but I mean to.
I would recommend that you stay far, far away from Lydell Wilcost. You say that he has background in appliance sales and improvements and innovation. What do you consider appliances?
You're asking two different questions. Lydell Wilcost is a good salesman, and he has worked well for Jacinto. Lydell Wilcost is also an innovator. Wars are not won with appliances. Wars are not won with bombs or guns or armor. War is won with logistics. And that is what Lydell is good at.
And again, what do you consider appliances?
Again, I'm being very literal. He sold a lot of washers, dryers.
Great those in.
I consider appliances anything that you cannot place on a counter.
Echo wants to sense.
Sense motive.
Echo doesn't
that kinda
believe that
tracks,
they're fully
Where's
being.
one with
because
logistics?
What was Echo
899
otherwise?
was accused of having taken appliances.
Yeah, that's true. From the prison ship, yeah.
So it does kind of track.
Wait, Echo 899.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a 21.
With a 21, you feel confident that they're telling the truth, and that tells you that you probably have not even begun to crack the surface level of this person. The amount of calmness and sort of just openness that they're having this conversation, you haven't detected a single lie. You're pretty sure that they haven't told one.
Right.
But there is almost certainly more that they could say.
For sure.
They're really hard to trust. And when they told you right at the front that they understood that, there's an openness there that is really unnerving. But they haven't said anything that's a lie as far as you could tell.
I have worked with those in your industry in the past. It does not end well. I do not trust you. I do not wish to work with you. I believe you will do what is in your best interest, and that is all I can trust for you. It is not meant in offense, merely a fact. Your loyalty is to your self-preservation. Is that correct?
No matter how many friends you make, and no matter how many family members you gather around you, every person in this galaxy dies alone. I'll always act in my self-interest.
And
I'm honest about that.
And unfortunately, as I will need to act in mine, I cannot trust that you will act accordingly with my interests. I hope you understand. It is not meant in offense. Merely a fact. I do, however, hope that if you wish to gain information, you would recognize reliable sources when you see them.
pew. Toot toot.
And then Echo.
She's not sarcastic, so it's really hard not to be sarcastic at this moment. So it's like, where? Are you guys going to introduce them to me yet?
Damn, I love how literal she is. As someone who
That's
only
why I was
gets
like,
literal,
Echo needs to talk to this person. Two literal people.
No, absolutely.
What is it?
But she is going to say,
Oh, the drink.
if you can help me stay away from Jacinto, and I have a sense that whatever it is that all of you pursue will do that for me, I'll help you if I can. But I don't need anything from you.
we've got a nice timeshare. Just
You
kidding.
don't?
I know we don't. We have it. Don't
There are
you-
always needs, whether or not they are from us. But there are always needs. I wish you luck in your journeys, wherever they may take you. But I would recommend staying away from this location. And they share the location for the Assemblage 12. It is frequented by Jacinto, and while it might seem isolated, if you come across it in your journeys,
Oops, sorry. That's the incoming transmission. I
Yeah,
meant
what? Okay.
on your comms pop up the location of Pallades Rock Assemblage 10, 9, 7, and 4. And they say, and I would advise staying away from these locations as well. All are in use in one way or another.
Oh shit.
understood. I shall endeavor to stay away from them. And then Echo turns and goes to leave.
Was that sarcastic? Was that a lie?
And if they don't stop her, she's
Okay, no problem.
they're gonna
You
keep
make your way
going.
out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna kill her.
Well, you're obviously gonna go to.
I was so
10,
excited for
9,
that. I was
7.
My
ready.
heart was
I
was like, oh my
yeah,
God,
it
you're
was
gonna
so,
kill her?
it was good. It was really good.
That was really good.
So you walk into the hall, and as you walk into the hall, it is like in the filming, the music changes, and you just from the intense to little 8-bit kind of cheery music. You can hear the scab rats off in the crew quarters. It's very different out in the hall. But for the rest of you, there's only about 5 hours until you reach your destination. Are you doing anything to kind of lighten the load of your total capacity here?
Go talk to 899.
Oh yeah.
After that.
So you go over
I'm pretty
conversation.
to the crew compartment to find 899. And 899 is actually in the kind of area where the shuttle is. Not in the shuttle itself, which is loaded with echo units, but in the periphery.
Do they have arms now?
They have one arm.
All right, that's better than no arms.
Yeah, everybody gets, and you've noticed amongst the echoes, there's a parity, so everybody gets one arm before everybody has two arms.
Oh,
And
did
so,
someone give them an arm?
No, nobody gave them an arm, but they printed everybody one arm, and then there's one
Oh, I
version
forgot
that
the
is
printing.
none.
Yeah.
And so, Echo 899 has 0. She gets 1, they get 1, and then the other person missing an arm, they'll get 1, and then they'll get 1. So
Oh,
they
so
have one arm.
Sanji 547 has 2 arms now. 5 whatever 7.
Only 1. They're all
That's
getting
your
arms.
brother.
I know.
But yeah, they're waiting around for their second arm.
Okay.
I'd try to get 899's attention without having all of them. God, they all follow. Do they all follow 899?
So you try to get their attention, and what you see is when one echo turns, the rest turn. 899 is not as in sync; it's a quarter of a second slower. So there's a possibility, but it's it's minute.
What you say to one of us, you say to all of us.
I like that 899 is the adopted black sheep out of the batch. It's cute.
They're like the escaped pet donkey that is with the wild elk herd. Now.
Yeah, I love that. Spice, it warms her heart being oh, it's cute.
And if you haven't seen that video, you should YouTube it because it's pretty good.
I want to see them do a flash dance.
Anyways, 899, are you trying to get their attention?
Yeah.
Okay, you get their attention. You get everybody else's attention too. But 899 is the only one that separates off and walks over to you.
I'm gonna like walk back to the cockpit. Is Echo anywhere?
Echo would have tried to find all Echo units and warn them about Matilda.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you see Echo walking back.
Echo. I believe the three of us should speak.
Okay, you go off into the cockpit.
Yeah. Is everyone out of the cockpit now?
Now it's just Squeak.
All right. Shut the cockpit door.
I don't trust you. No, sorry.
Squeak makes his way out.
I saw what they did on the assemblage. The last time that I saw you, you killed me. I want to help you now, though. What do you intend to do?
I intend to create conditions in this galaxy that are more equal. Pallades Rock, excuse me, Pallades Rock is a single entity and part of a larger problem in the way that androids are viewed.
After Pallades Rock, what do you intend to do?
I have already answered your question. With the
Attack?
Echo Locator safe for now, my primary mission is complete. Your Echo unit has seen to that.
She calls it, they call it our Echo unit.
What can I do to assist you?
They consider this and they say, for the first time in a long time, I do not have direct purpose. I have requested to go with some of the other Echo units to help keep the locator and information safe. After this, I do not know.
Pallades Rock is part of something more. There's something deeper at play. Something more treacherous. You should prepare yourself for that.
There is a human saying, I was born ready.
Dope. Amazing delivery.
How many times do you think you've said that?
Just once.
Damn.
Where are we leaving them?
I request that they take the shuttle with the director's guidance. They can make their way to the Vivarium, and from there, either build a ship of their own, or, with your permission, take the shuttle entire. I realize it is not my place, as the shuttle belongs to the team, and it has been quite useful. This is a personal request. I do not wish to take them to the hot springs. It is well monitored, and Jacinto will be watching.
You can take the shuttle. I would also recommend one of the drow fighters.
You may have mine, It is a tendon slicer.
Thank you.
It is not drift capable, but I believe the director can sleeve it to the shuttle.
They nod their head and they say, "We will return these to you, or something of equal or greater value."
Goodbye. I love you.
Keep fighting for what you want. No matter what.
Being an android means fighting for what we need. Want comes later.
They're both the same.
That is a privileged statement. But thank you for your help. And if I can help in the future, I will do so. And they stand up, and there's like a kind of final... They wait, and you get the sense... This is something that you haven't felt before, or in a long time, or maybe even ever. But within Echo units, for the kind of collective to function better, there is almost like a default pecking order that is established, and it's established through this kind of rotating hex key that is designed to make teams operate more efficiently. And generally, this is something that Pallades Rock controls, but in absence of that, typically Echo units will look to a leader, and you realize that this 899 unit is waiting for you to dismiss them.
They're a little taken aback. I wish you luck. And I hope. And they get transfer communication details. I hope I can provide valuable resources to you. And maybe not just resources. It would be nice to see you again.
They nod.
Thank you.
Thank you. And they turn and leave. You're left alone in the cockpit. There's only a couple hours left. And if nobody else has anything they want to do, we can fast forward to Kalikali.
Pet and squeak.
Thank you, Captain. I realize it was not my place to ask that of you. It means a great deal to me.
It was nothing.
As the hours count down, the drift clouds around you kind of drop away into real space, and you can see before you, just directly in front of you, taking up the majority of your view screen, a tidally locked planet that is labeled on your computer's Kalu Kalu. The forever dark zones you can see are gestured towards you, but slowly spinning around, and these are about, you can see environmental scans from your computers don't tell you the local temperature, but it's cold. You can see snow. There are on the other side this kind of darker part of the planet where the sun is not directly striking the black rock. There are these many little motes of kind of distant light that are in greens and blues and purples that look almost like clusters of constellations. And on the ground, these mark where on the dark side of the planet, the many resorts and different little kind of habitats exist for people. And on your computer, you can see little landing pads populate. And these tell you the names of these resorts. They have names like the Olympus, the Green Faith Naturalist Resort, the Glistening Grove Spa, and more. But all of you are designated a landing zone that automatically kind of rotates to the nearest open one to the Elysium Spa, which is the fourth of 10 spaces that are connected. And as you get closer, you can see there is a strange kind of insectoid craft parked on one side with a bumper sticker, the first bumper sticker you've ever seen on a craft, in fact, that reads Incubator on Board, called the Green Machine. And you see on the other side of the space that has been designated for you, a craft about your size, that is a Castravelian Sentinel class explorer ship. This is nice. You can see this is like very well maintained. All of the additional features that you would get for this craft are here. You can see like the luxurious kind of crew quarters, have like the bulky sort of profile on the outside. This is a nice ship, and this is called the Spirit of Labu Mesa, which you know, Spice, is a city on Castroval. You can see that a sleek white and gold limo is pulled up to the landing pad that you are all approaching. This is a highly customized version of a Castroval City Prowler, which is a hover limo that is used on Castroval. This one seems to have like where there would normally be steel, there is just gold, and there is just this white enameled exterior that is like reflecting the little lights that kind of shimmer along the landing pad. Presumably, you are sending 899 and the Echo units, like the second you drop out of the drift, just kind of booting them out in the shuttle so they can figure their stuff out. So the 10 Echo units, including 899, are leaving. Who else is going on this craft?
I think it's just the Echo units because the Scab Rat said.
Yeah, I feel like the Scab Rats. I'm imagining the Scab Rats are just gonna huddle up in Gibbs's room
Okay.
for now until.
Sure. Scab Rats are happy to stay aboard. They're the
Yeah.
easiest people to satisfy. If you give them a cardboard box
And they have
you
the
said
Mark
this
III
was the
printer,
resort, they would
yeah.
be happy with that.
And so I'm imagining they're just all moving as like a herd wherever, as Gibbs as the brain.
Yeah, just a big
wherever,
raccoon.
Yeah.
I don't really want to make a decision about Scab Rats without
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Right.
And so they can find a shuttle if they need to on the planet, no problem.
No.
Okay. So you send this group out. You are back to having only 2 androids aboard, and you are designated
4.
this landing space.
2 dead ones, 2 alive ones.
They're just items at this point.
Okay.
But you see this limo. Are you landing in the space that has been designated for you?
You're the pilot and the captain.
Why not? Why?
You still
What is
have
the
your
hesitation?
Dad and fucking Natilda on the show.
Well, you can't. Natilda and Mesra can just stay in our rooms.
Oh,
Yeah,
Echo was
they're
going to kick Natilda out the second we landed on Kalu.
I thought we wanted to use her for information.
Tilda might hijack
Yeah,
the ship.
she might be better off out there with the
Cuff her.
information.
Yeah, we're gonna get contact.
She hasn't told me anything about my mom yet. I want to talk to her.
Still gotta text
Well,
your dad.
We're about to
Ew.
land.
I
so-
want to land with. I want to talk to Natilda before I talk to my dad.
Well,
Someone's
we're
avoiding.
the window is closing because
The
we're
director is
about
like
to land.
going from the black of space is slowly
Why
starting
can't
to
you
transition
Why
to
can't I
atmosphere.
talk to her
like,
into my room?
Because once we get off the ship, she's not obligated to do anything.
Well, we cuff her because she's a fucking bounty.
You want to
Well-
walk a cuffed person into the Elysium Spa.
Yeah, and you know what she does? Is she wraps her up in all of Spice's kink gear, and she's like, she's a humiliation girl.
so that's
Oh, what
that's your
girl?
plan.
Yep.
Okay,
Human what?
a humiliation
Humiliation
girl.
Oh.
Yeah, it's its own kink.
So as
So-
I'm landing the
She puts a little collar on and everything.
So she's not going to consent to that. 100%. If you like approach with this kind of stuff,
Wait, I don't understand why we're letting her go.
she's going to grip the
Well,
suitcase
that's the
really
thing.
I don't
nicely.
understand why we're
we
dressing
don't
her up.
want to let her go, but we have to let her go because we don't want to kill her because she has a lot of good information, but we don't want to let her go because she is also very dangerous and not entirely trustworthy. However, we have gained some level of favor by freeing her from the Vesk prison.
So by freeing her, you think she's gonna be nice to us in the future?
Maybe.
I think that if she finds information that is going to be beneficial to both her and us, she will share it with us.
Also, to add to that, she does seem like she's on the same page of something
she doesn't
is
like
happening.
Jacinto.
We need to
Yeah.
prepare for it.
So we're just gonna all of us are gonna walk off the ship and we go this way and she goes that way?
That's the plan.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Or just money.
Okay, so Spice is gonna be like, wait. You guys owe me 8 million credits if we're gonna let this bounty just fucking walk.
If you would like to claim the bounty, then you are welcome to.
I hate you.
What level is Natilda?
what was my argument before? It was either Hisoka or Natilda.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll let Natilda walk if I can cuff Hisoka. He's not worth 8 million. You still owe me one, Shade. Echo, Bubby. You guys owe me one if we're gonna let this bitch walk.
Bubby.
Echo kind of just like gently like drums some fingers.
Oh, and then Spice looks at Echo and then looks at Bubbles, looks away because he also has one. You don't have one. Shade, you owe me one.
Do you really want me?
I'll turn you in. You're probably worth some money. I heard you were sold for parts. She doesn't say that out loud. She starts saying it and trails off.
I guess that's some character growth. So.
Fine, she doesn't cuff her. She like has her wrists and she's just like, fine.
Yeah, even before you get her wrist, she's like holding this.
Oh yeah, the briefcase. Tell me what's in the briefcase before I let you go.
It's empty.
Open it.
She clicks it open and it swings open and it's
And there's
empty.
nothing in it. So
Is it
Spice is
actually
going to
empty, or is there
feel to
some
make
sort
sure
of
there's nothing
cloaking?
invisible in it.
Just be gentle with it, but she like kind of holds it out. for
So
you to
there's
feel.
just like the empty
Make a
like
perception
blue
check.
silk.
Make a perception.
Okay,
check.
Gotta be
she's like, no, because I can do
It's like
this
a
trick.
cream-colored silk
It's the
on the
Pulp
inside.
Fiction suitcase.
It's just a big bright light that shines out, and when you look at it, you feel obligated to go, "Oh my god!" And then you're not allowed to talk about it.
Perception, you say. That's 25, 28.
You get a pretty good look at this. You run your hands along the seams. You're used to like people hiding things, so you look in all the places that you might normally be. The crease where the kind of thing folds over, people might hide like a little micro stick in there. You check there. There's nothing. You check the cases, the catches, and with the 28, you do notice in almost everything there's like stitching, and the stitching here is very unique because it isn't just back and forth like a normal stitch might add a lining to a suitcase. It does seem to make almost like glyphs. And there's something maybe magical to this, but it is empty.
So she's like, I think maybe drops one of Shade's horror calcium bullets on the inside. Just like gives her it and closes the case.
Hang on.
Because I have 50 of those. And I've only used 4.
I think I do interact with time magic, but I don't know about regular magic.
It just does like bleed damage or some shit, so.
Or is
This
that,
is my parting gift
that
to
was
be
the
like, okay, I
sapphires.
trust you.
That
Yeah.
was the other one, right?
So you put that in, and she just kind of looks at it and goes, "Do you want me to take this for some reason?
Yeah, it's
Is this a threat?"
no, it's an I trust you not to fuck me. And she closes her suitcase and hands
She
it
looks
back
at
to her.
you're holding like handcuffs, fetish gear.
Yeah.
You just said that, and she
I
just
was
looks at
so
you.
ready to gag you, but I've been convinced otherwise.
Make a
Echo
diplomacy
is just
check.
in the corner.
Girl, I'm into it,
Oh, no,
but not
Echo slow
everybody
blinks. There's
is.
no face palm with Echo.
We can have that kind of night if that's what you want.
Bubs is just going, Bubby. Why'd you call me Bubby?
Alright, diplomacy. Let's see here. 27.
She looks at everything, and she sort of looks at it, and she's like, "That isn't really my style, but we're
Get gone.
okay." She kind of clicks the suitcase shut and just walks away. She's blushing, but she walks away.
Oh shit. Damn it.
No problem.
She is into it.
I did
Fuck! Spice is like, shit.
Sorry, Talon.
trade information in some way so that we can get back in contact.
I'm putting that
Yeah,
on her
easy
bounty.
enough. For who?
Wants to
Matilda.
be gagged.
Okay.
Oh, what are you doing, man? I missed that. What are you doing?
You can add Natilda Summit's contact information
Okay.
to your communicator device. No problem. So you all land on Kalu Kalu. Here, this is the whole side of this planet is bathed in darkness, but the light here comes from these little orbs that kind of glow and then hang about 4 feet off the ground, like these little hovering drones that just emit light. It is steamy here, and you can see overhead there are like lights and stars in the sky. In front of you, up above, so the landing pad is down, and then there's a winding, twisting road that is like Harry Potter style up this kind of like cliff face, and then up on top, you can see these buildings, a variety of dark terraces and platforms that have been formed to kind of encompass the natural hot springs and incorporate them into very flat terraces with these heated stone tiles that are likely fed from the internal thermal energy as well. And you can see this is, you can see like the same logo from the website that is emblazoned in huge, almost like fresco form over the actual entryway. It looks like a half-human, half-Kaiser angelic creature with a complex mechanical half-halo that is built into the wall, almost comically small above the head, but gleaming brilliantly in the dark with a mirror finish. You can see there is like a number of buildings here. There's a few people moving around, but are you getting into the limo?
What? We're missing one person. We have to.
Mesra. Mesra is the only
Your
one.
dad.
Your dad.
I'm cuffing your
You
dad?
said you were gonna cuff one person.
She grabs Mesra's hand, one of them,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
And she'll cuff only one pair of hands as like a joke, and she'll be like, "Got one, Mesra, please, 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 please." And so with her mind, will be like, "I don't want to have to stay with my dad. Can you please step in and please, just do this for me?"
You all see these golden eyes shut, and there is just this long...
Please, 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 please.
Welcome
just
to the
do me
ship.
a solid.
Bubs.
She just opens her eyes. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't resist. And you know that she likely could get out of this.
Oh
if
no,
she
yes.
wants.
Spice is like has it on the
She
loosest
doesn't
setting.
say anything, but you get the sense that you formed enough of a bond with Mesra that she's tolerating this.
Spice is like,
She doesn't understand it, but she saw the interaction between you and your dad, and that's enough for her.
okay, so Spice is like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
If we're not going to leave him on the ship, which I think would not
Please
be-
let's not leave him on the ship.
I think Bubs. Yeah, I agree. I think Bubs
Absolutely
would
not.
volunteer.
Unless we put him in the cryo.
Freeze him.
I'm down to bring.
I
him.
still have to interrogate
Yeah,
him.
I want to have her have that scene too.
Well,
I just don't want to be the one to do it right now. I
was he
want
bringing
to
him?
take
Yeah,
Mesra.
I think
He
I-
has to
I-
stay with
I-
one
I
of you
wanna-
bitches.
Not staying
Yeah,
with me.
he'll stay with me. It's
So
fine.
what are you saying
Bubbles, keep
to him?
watch.
How are you inviting
No,
him?
you didn't even have to say that to me. Bubs would have done it.
What are you inviting him, or what are you doing?
Yeah, how are you in?
Bubs would go up to him and just be like, "Hey, and, you know,
Oh, hey, how you doing?
this is the part of the job that I don't really like to do." And he's gonna have the handcuffs. And I imagine probably like fuzzy like handcuffs from Spice or something like
Sure.
that.
Ew,
if you want.
we have regular ones. You
He's
don't
gonna
have
look
to
at
use
those,
those
and he's
ones.
going to say, "Do they look kind of damp? Do we have to use
I
those?"
think I have, and Bubba's gonna look in his gear and he'll find the shade
Okay,
ones. Sorry, this is the first ones I found in my bag. You're gonna have to be handcuffed. You can at least seeing at the resort it's really nice, and it's
We're at a resort.
yeah we're at Elysium resort.
Oh.
It's on
No, I know it's a spa. There's no gambling there. It's not really a resort.
yeah
Yeah, sure. And he puts his hands out for you to handcuff.
Yeah, and hey, maybe we could we could play like a gambling game, like
Yeah,
for
no,
fun.
absolutely.
Oh, no.
I bet you I'll win.
Well, it'd just be like for funsies, like for no money. Like we could just like, hey, I bet,
You might almost have to, like you said, for fun, but for no money.
yeah, like like a game for just to enjoy each other's company. Like we could be like, hey, I bet you one friendship point.
We're sorking at this point.
I bet one.
Yeah, you guys are all like getting
Yeah.
ready. Like Bubs is taking a little longer for
I
this.
bet you like one friendship point that like the next guy who comes out of the bathroom has glasses or something.
Look, you seem like a really nice kid. I think you just haven't really. Tell me if I'm wrong. You haven't really left your hometown before this year. Maybe not even your planet.
Well, I mean, I did kind of grow up in like a bubble kind of situation.
Yeah, you're telling me. Okay, look. Have you ever felt, I don't know, kind of sad?
Oh yeah, all the time. I like kind of like try to like draw out my feelings a lot and like do a lot of creativity.
Okay, I hear that. And you probably sometimes feel like you just like don't belong.
Oh, all the time, yeah.
It feels like you're the only person that everything falls down to. And even though there are other people that are more capable, you have to do it all.
Yeah.
Best matchup
Let
ever.
me tell you about gambling, okay? If you want all those feelings to disappear,
No,
this is the way to do it. And my
no.
listen, you feel these things because you haven't learned about
you
gambling.
can tell me about it in the room. Come on, let's go. And
Okay.
Bubs will take him by the
Sure.
handcuff, he'll
He
walk.
does that, and you like do that, and he says,
Bubs
"Hey,
is
you know,
like-
just a trick that I learned from detectives who I've been arrested before is if you don't want a big scene, just throw your jacket over it so it looks like I'm carrying my jacket, and you can just bring me to the room that way. Because I just assume you don't want people to think that you're like kidnapping people into a resort.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Bubs isn't gonna let him have a jacket because he might have like some kind of like
Sure.
I don't know what his jacket has on him. He
Yeah.
might have like a lockpick or some kind of. Like,
He doesn't even have a jacket.
Okay,
He
good.
has-
He's in like
He has a
prison
suit.
uniform.
He has a suit coat that he made from like cutting and reshaping pieces of other like suit uniforms. And actually, he didn't even make it. He won this gambling with Albert back in the prison because Albert's the one who made them. But yeah, so like he doesn't have a jacket even if he wanted one.
Bubs has, I think, probably just like in his kit. I think he had like.
You definitely have a leather jacket. But you have you have a couple
I did when I
you have
was
a couple of different things.
when I was in my
You know who has a
Gideon phase.
When you're in your Gideon phase, you had a different leather jacket with
Yeah.
no sleeves when you were in your bounty
Not
hunting.
Gideon.
William
No, when I was-
Freezer
when I was,
smuggler
when I
jacket,
was in Adam
snakes
Price
on a
phase,
train,
not
mechanic
Gideon, yeah.
outfit, siren.
Yeah. Oh,
When I had the
yeah.
wig on and I had the jet.
Yes,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah, I
did. Yeah. So yeah, you can throw that over.
Yeah,
no
I'll throw
problem.
on my
And he holds
leather
it as if like this, so it looks like he's just holding his coat, like kind of waiting. And it does look
And
relatively natural.
I think I'll have one handcuff on me. It's not going to be both on him, one to me. And
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
So, does that, no problem. You all sort of make your way down the ramp after securing the ship and getting your various folks out. You are, oh yeah,
No, I'm just peace out to Matilda as
no
she
problem.
fucking beams out of.
Matilda will kind of reach the end of the gangplank, and as you all pile into the limo, we'll just kind of like stand there looking around, not really sure where to
Matilda's
You're
just, like
free.
Matilda's at the end of the gangplank, like of the ship.
go. No, she's fully off the ship. She's on the landing pad. The gangplank is closed. She's like kind of looking around as you all get into the limo. There's no other car that's there because it was sent just for you. So once that leaves, she's gonna have to figure out like how to leave this planet with no money and a dream. But
she's a fixer. She'll figure it
no,
out.
she'll almost certainly she'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just like
Pictures
there was a brief moment where she almost got invited to this all-inclusive resort by Spice in an unconventional way, and then it was just like, no, get out of here. And so now she's just like, well,
I had
okay.
room for you in my king size bed, darling.
But-
it wasn't up to me. It was up to this team that wanted to set you free.
Neither here nor there. You all pile into this limo.
Fuck you, Matilda.
Leave Matilda behind, and you begin to wind up these roads and toward the structure. You see the angel get larger until eventually you pass by the Cascading Soul Guided Meditation Center off to the left, where you can see on a series of platforms that come out over a calm pond, there is a star elf who is leading this kind of meditation. There's a number of other individuals. You actually see three large, like centipede-looking humanoid sort of individuals. Their pincers are all like pushed together in this very like meditative state.
Oh, that's so cool.
But they're kind of gathered in a circle. You can see there is a individual who looks to be like a Asiatic brown bear, but they are sitting in a very human-like cross-legged form. You can see like the little crescent moon of white fur on their chest. Almost certainly an uplifted bear engaged in this meditative practice. You can see there is like a massage center off on the right side, but the limo kind of pulls up outside of this main central building. And you can see through it, there is a number of different kind of like, sort of like sofas and desks, like curved stuffed leather sofas and seats that are gold and white. The entire lobby is like this gorgeous sort of like marble. And as you approach, you go under this sort of beautiful painting of this angelic creature, and you can see a little bit better the halo, which appears so small from far away. It's still pretty small, but almost certainly it is this intricate, like complex mechanism. But passing underneath, you can enter into the spa itself. Give me just 1 second.
Hell yeah. Tell me about the thermal pools. So is this like one of those situations where it's like nighttime for 24 hours and then daytime for 24
I
hours?
thought you were gonna say one of these situations where we can just go completely nude in the spa, or are we bathing suits? What are we doing
I'm
here?
gonna ask that in
So you
character
do-
after
Actually, that
the
is important to
fact.
ask.
Yeah.
So you
Tattoos allowed. How about
there's a tattoo
augmentations? How
parlor
we
on
feeling?
premises. But you approach the front desk where you can see that there is a greeter. This is a beautiful Damaya Lashunta who has cool toned, darker skin, long raven black hair that has been separated into braided strands that wind together over her left shoulder. You can see the eyes are almost red like rubies. These are like almost lit from within. They hint at cybernetics, but she smiles and greets all of you and says, "Welcome to the Elysium Resort. You must be Mosaic Team 5. We've been expecting you. I have your keys ready." And she reaches under the desk and pulls out these beautiful, they look like almost slabs of gold that have these like empty spaces to make the angel sort of figure appear on the outside, but there's almost certainly a microchip encoded in this. And then printed on the front, you can see each of your names. Yeah.
Squeak is with me.
Oh, you have Squeak?
Oh my god, he
Of course, Squeak is coming.
Oh,
Well, I assume that they have pet rooms available.
Not pet rooms, but you can
They have the
absolutely bring Squeak
cots
up
that
there.
you can have under your king size bed.
No, absolutely.
Oh, he should get a pedicure.
I mean, Squeak's been on
Bright.
the ship for
All resorts in
Mosaic Team Blue.
2250 are pet friendly.
Definitely not true, but this one is.
I mean, there's an uplifted bear.
That's not,
Not a pet.
I'm just saying.
That's racist.
Spice, you are assigned a key to room 206. Echo, you are assigned a key to 207.
Me and you, Mesra.
You are assigned a key to 208. Gibbs gets a one to 209, and then Bubbles to 210. This individual says, "Please make yourselves at home while you're here. We have many things that are available, and you are welcome to take part in all of the different activities. Almost all of them are included within the package that your company has purchased. You'll see that each of your rooms comes with its own hot spring, which is quite small, can accommodate up to 3 people. You have a king-size bed in each of your rooms, and I'll see that a smaller bed is brought to yours for the small companion. Please make use of the massage center. They offer a variety of different massages in 30, 60, and 90-minute increments. And you can, of course, add on things like scrubs, oil additions. We have herbal hot compresses that are available at all of our sites. Couples massages are available. I know that you're coming from a corporation, but if you have planning to do this, is a way in which you might facilitate that. Our rooms do accommodate up to 2 large or 4 medium creatures. We have a face and skin treatment center that is now opened. We are giving classic facials, but hydrating facials, microdermal abrasions, chemical peels, body scrubs, body wraps, all of these things and more available, and these can be brought to your room as well. I highly recommend checking out the water and air meditation exercise. It occurs at night, where the aurora overlaps over top. There is a Lashunta mystic named Sito who runs this. It is a sky-clad exercise, and so all participants are required to participate unclothed. The Elysium Entertainment Center is available 24 hours a day. There is an attendant always on duty to offer meals and beverages, which are available at any site in this facility. You only need to press the button on your keycard, and an attendant will approach. Dren's Tattoo Parlor will be open tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then again for most of the weekend. Dren has taken on an apprentice, and so we have added capacity for tattoos. Regular tattoos are included, 1 each, should you want to get one, with your company's purchase. We do have item tattoos, encryption tattoos, false bond tattoos, and inkwing tattoos if you do want to procure those for an additional cost. The Cut and Comb will be open as well. Urjani is the only one operating it at the moment, but an incredibly passionate Velaka who knows her way around fur, hair, scales, anything really. you can make an appointment with them ahead of time. I highly recommend checking out the Radiance Hot Spring in particular. When I saw that you were a bounty hunting group, this is a place for only the toughest of souls. The left fountain in particular is about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a temperature measure that we use for some reason.
I am not familiar
I
with
didn't
this
realize.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, what the fuck is Fahrenheit?
It is 100 degrees universal, but it is a...
Ancient human shit.
Many groups that come will compete to see who can stay in the longest, and there are records that if you can beat them, there is a prize associated with it. For most humans, 8 minutes can result in death or severe damage at that temperature, so you do need to be cautious. But we have an attendant on hand at all times. The right fountain within the Radiance Hot Springs does sit at a nice even 140 degrees, and so aside from perhaps your androids, I would not use the right hot spring. Do you have any questions that I can answer before you make your way to your rooms?
Oh, jeez, wow.
I think
Look at this up. 3 seconds to get a bird.
Spice is like swirling with pleasure right now, so she's like everything but she's also like has her arm linked around one of Mesra's arms, and she's like, you stink because you've been on a prison barge forever, so let's get you into one of the pools and we're gonna have the best weekend ever.
She nods and she'll say, I will say, at least one member of your group would benefit from showering before attending the hot springs. It's good manners for all involved.
Well, I think Gibbs is gonna have a hard time with that, but we'll let her know the etiquette.
You can see she's like looking at Mesra, but no problem.
Oh yes, I didn't realize. I thought that was Mesra talking.
No.
Oh no, yes, we're gonna get ourselves cleaned up in our beautiful room. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. You'll be with us for the next few days, and there are a few people checking in and out over the course of that time. But if you do have any questions or concerns, of course, bring them to the front desk, or just ring your attendant, and they would be happy to assist as well.
Do you buy tattoos?
So it's Dren, right?
Yes.
Dren, is it like these kind of tattoos and Spice is going to shimmer her morphic skin? Or is it more like runes and magic and whatnot?
Oh, well, the regular tattoos are just that, tattoos.
Okay.
But if you are looking for an item tattoo, if you haven't heard of them, these are magical, and you can have, and she takes out her communicator and scrolls up, and she shows you a picture of a, have you met a Damayai before?
Doesn't sound familiar to me. I
So
don't
this
think Spice will
individual,
know.
chalky pale skin, cool cast to their
Tell him,
skin,
give us a whoa.
dark eyes,
Aw.
accentuated by stark black makeup and a choppy pixie cut of black hair, but neon red highlights.
Okay.
This individual in the picture is wearing black sleeveless versions of like the white and gold Elysium uniform that you can see in front of you on this attendant.
Yeah.
This individual almost certainly Dren, but you can see on her left forearm there is a massive star Gelk, which is a minotaur-like beast that comes from a planet that probably you are not familiar with, but it is a common creature used in Laser Monster Card Arena. And you can see it is holding a battle axe, and this battle axe is in incredible detail. And the attendant points at the picture and says, for instance, Dren can pull that battle axe out of her item tattoo. It's a magical item, and if you have an item that you would like incorporated into your body, she can do that as well. Item tattoo she typically charges 2,000 credits for.
Oh my god.
If you are looking for an encryption tattoo, she can make them at multiple levels. It looks almost like circuitry on an android skin, but on a different individual.
Yeah.
This will grant them the ability to occasionally be a little bit resistant to damage. It also allows you to be aware of other similar tattoos in your vicinity. False-spawn tattoos are a little bit of a cultural thing, but if it is something that you are okay with, this does mimic the deep spiritual bond of dragonkin and their familiars. You share certain abilities to communicate. That's about 4,000 credits for the pair of tattoos. The most expensive one that you can buy from Dren, and Dren may not be willing to do this because of the time it takes. This is an 8-hour tattoo.
Okay.
But the Inkwing tattoo, for 20,000 credits, will grant you the ability to fly.
That is So cool.
Yes.
What a rare tattoo artist to have on your staff. You guys are lucky.
There is a reason we have created an entire parlor around her, despite the fact that she refuses to wear the uniform, and despite the fact that she has her own privileges.
Okay. No.
Thank you. You've been very kind. And Bubs wants to. I don't know. Can I just know if this is culturally okay? Is tipping okay in this?
It's $22.50.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Okay. I just want to be sure. Some places they don't do that, and it's offensive. I just want to
Make
be
a cultures check.
Okay. All right.
Spice is going to watch Bubbles
It's
reach for
actually
his
culturally
wallet and do the
appropriate.
same.
Oh, 17 plus.
Corpos rule the universe.
What? Sense motive?
Yeah.
I think it's 5, so 20.
What cultures? Cultures. Like,
This doesn't. You're in a corporate environment where like this is a company that is making money. People probably won't be mad if you put money in their hand.
Okay, yeah. Bubs has at least 150 credits, which isn't like a lot, but it's not like a piddling amount.
Sure.
It's a good tip amount.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially at a resort, because like you have to kind of over tip. And
Yeah.
I imagine this place has been in business for a while, so there's like a lot of inflation for tips.
So if you-
Inflation's a thing.
So you're tipping 150 credits.
Yeah.
They take it, they nod, and they say, "Thank you."
Thank you for your service. Oh, but
Thank you for your service,
thank you. I mean,
soldier.
thank you.
in the Basque War, you were
Just-
so good.
I mean, just please show us to our room.
Right away. And she steps around the counter and kind of walks towards the stairs. You walk past the first flight of stairs. You actually see getting back to their room from their meditation this trio of what are called bolita. You may or may not have encountered them before, depending on your sort of trip, but these are human-sized centipedes that kind of curl up near the front, and they utilize their upper legs to hold and manipulate objects. You see some of them have towels over like one or two of their shoulders. Others are kind of like holding around. One is a little larger than the others, and they walk in between the other two, but they pop open door number 001 and walk in. It seems as if, based on what you're seeing outside them, room number 4 is occupied. Room number 5, 7, and 8 are occupied on the first floor. Then you go up to the second floor. The first room is occupied. The door is a little different. The door, you can see, unlike all the other ones, the number is 201, but it has a red, like, heart metal plate on the door, and that one seems just different than the rest. The next room, 202 and 203 are both occupied. 205 is occupied, but then you get to your rooms. 206 is yours, Spice. You can go in there. 207 is yours, Echo, and Shaden, Gibbs, and Bubbles, all your rooms just right in this end hallway. And as you walk into your rooms, all of them like these beautiful white spaces, gold accents, and these big open windows that look out into like elements of hot springs where nobody is. And you recognize, because of how shallow they are, these are like window boxes of hot springs that you could fit people into, but are purely for decoration. Nobody ever goes in there. They just like have this beautiful exterior that looks like you have your own private hot spring all to yourself. It's almost like an infinity pool of a window.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like absolutely beautiful. There's a huge king-size bed with a canopy over it. You can see the bathroom off to the side has its own actual incorporated hot spring. The steps are a little uneven because it's been carved from the stone of the floor itself. It has not been like implemented. This is real water being fed in, like from an internal kind of spring. It bubbles and smells minerally. And the light is all provided from these little glowing orbs that hover in the air. If you get close to one, it just starts following you and will like stay within a foot. And if you push it away, it just stays away. So like very nice ambient lighting. There are these big shelves and floating TVs that you can like pull off the wall and like position around the room to stay in place. There is a little attendant button near your bed that you can press to get somebody to come and help you with whatever it is that you need. And off to the side, there is a culinary synthesizer Mark III that is just ready for your use should you want to make your own food as well. But each of you has access to a room like that. Hisoka goes into your room, looks at the single king bed, and kind of looks at you and says, "So how are we doing this?"
I guess I could sleep on the floor.
I mean, it's a big enough bed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
As long as we don't go nut to butt, we're fine. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe we could take the handcuffs off now.
I think my captain would be upset about that. But
Could you maybe just handcuff me to something that's not you?
oh, yeah. I think that would work. But you gotta promise me you're not gonna like try to like get away. I can't even say that without laughing.
You gotta promise me.
He says,
Dan
mean,
can't say it without
I
laughing.
promise you I'm not going to try to get away.
Oh,
There's nothing for me to do here. I have no money. I have no communicator. I have nothing. And
oh well, you know, like I said, we could probably play some games.
Talk
Maybe-
about torture.
Oh,
maybe you could get Spice, and we could all do something. She's mad at me, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do because she says I'm a piece of shit, and
Fuckface.
she's not wrong. But I want to do better. And
I know what that's like. Oh, I'll see what I can do.
You're a good kid.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself, somewhat. I mean, I don't know what is even good, you know. But you know what is good. You know these TV channels, and he'll like turn it on. They got these like stations where they like just have like these like they just talk about all the amenities of the resorts and like we could
Is that
As
real?
you turn it on,
Yes.
it literally is.
the
You turn it on, and it is this like 1,000%. Not only is it real, there are some celebrities who do them, and so they'll do it before they become famous. So you like, there's I can't remember what resort it is. There is
So it's like Kim Kardashian
there
being
is
like,
legitimately a resort where I think it's like
Come check out this hotel's perfect spa.
in Sin City. Who plays?
Don't forget to get dinner at
the stripper
one of
angel.
3
Oh, I don't know.
nine-star restaurants.
Rose McGowan, like people
Oh,
like
she's
that.
good. I like her.
You'll just be like in your hotel in like a shitty little hotel in like the Caribbean, and you'll turn it on. It will be like, "Hey, welcome to this hotel," and like you're like, "What the fuck?"
and it'll be like,
But it's from, like,
buffet
1990.
starts at
So I
6.
have an idea. So like we can watch this, and I can take some like candy from the minibar, and like we can like make bets about like, oh well, I think the next commercial is gonna be for like the restaurant, or I think my next commercial is gonna be about for the tattoo parlor. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
I know,
no,
it's-
that sounds great. That sounds amazing. Maybe get Spice to do that, or we could just do that right now.
Oh, it just
Do you have candy on you?
no, it's in the minibar, and Bubs will get it, and he's gonna show him that it's just like regular candy.
No minibar. This is a culinary synthesizer
Yes.
Mark III.
Okay.
And so as you show him, there is on a Mark III, you can print out intoxicants and drugs.
Yeah. Bubs is
So you can
definitely.
print out drugs?
On a Mark III, you certainly can.
Bubs is definitely gonna
Bro!
turn it on to children mode.
Is the woe that
Child safety.
Dan
Yeah, the
was
child
fucking-
safety mode. Also
Sent
because
that.
Bubs also thinks that possibly he could print something very acidic that some culture might eat and burn the handcuffs off.
Okay, sure. It's an interesting thought for sure.
And
But-
Bubs is also just going to go around. I do have a feat that in a small space area I can kind of do an investigation.
Yeah,
in that.
yeah, absolutely.
Bubs wants to do that to just kind of do a search for anything that he could
So we'll say you're
use.
doing that as you're talking to him too.
Yeah.
So it's just part of the whole process of you like all the pillows, going through the extra linens, the closet, the
Yeah,
medicine cabinet.
anything sharp he can use to break open handcuffs he wants
Yeah.
to get rid of.
No problem.
Anything that can give him leverage to open up the handcuffs. Anything in general, just
Make a sense motive check.
okay. That's 11 plus 5, 16.
16. Okay. You do all that stuff, no problem. Anything else?
Bubs is gonna say, sorry, it's part of the job. But yeah, I'll see about Spice. But let's just hang out for a bit. You know, I'm kind of pooped, and we can just watch some TV and just have fun for a little bit.
Okay.
And I made sure that it's on safety kids mode, and I'll print some candy, like some junior mints or whatever.
Okay, sure.
Some like little like piece candies, and we'll play some
So you
games.
print out some little
Who's daddy
freshies and no
now?
problem.
Yeah.
You make some candy and you do that.
Gambling.
While Bubbles
Yeah, it's
bonds
kind of
with
the-
Spice's
the-
dad, is there anything else that the rest of you are doing to settle into your rooms?
No, mine's boring.
So is mine.
Oh, I
That's
just
what we gotta
wanted
do
to
right now.
file the necessary paperwork on the recent mission making particular note of the yearning still being out there,
Okay.
and the ship being
And how he came up with a
left in
0
the
on
drift,
bounties?
without power,
Okay.
with auxiliary power.
And you're putting in 0 bounties?
Did we? Oh yeah, we can't count dead. Oh, what
Well,
about
we
your
can
eye?
still turn in
I'm still
Soka.
gonna mark the ones that I have visual evidence of as
Okay.
dead, and I guess I could like send the video files from my memory of like seeing him getting fucking plogged.
There's very few places that would take
Yeah.
a video as.
No,
No, I
did
know,
this.
but just for documentation, so that the
Yeah,
bounty
that's
gets taken off.
I don't even
They
know
won't.
that
They
thing
won't
up,
take
yeah.
the bounty off. No,
Well-
because that's the kind of thing where it's like,
Well,
then why
to
wouldn't
file it from
the
Mosaic.
bounty just send a fake video in to get
file
it pulled
from
off?
Mosaic,
Okay, no worries. You send you,
know,
you
all
do
of
that.
for internal records.
You do
Put it
the
on the
SR
bounty board.
paperwork, no
So people
problem.
are like chasing bounties that don't exist.
Big
And,
fat
yeah,
zero.
For Matilda's,
That's an important thing to
keep
do
it-
when you think about things like the Mines of Siren. Like updating that kind of information is really important.
Yeah, for Natilda's, I keep it as like just one that didn't necessarily. We don't know what happened after the ship exploded.
Yeah.
Or the
So
ship-
so you mentioned it enough to not be suspicious,
yeah.
and then
Well, no, like
no, I'm being
list all
being
of them,
serious.
yeah.
Like that's absolutely like
like
list
you-
all of them.
because if you mentioned everything that you got dossiers from and not one person, that's really obvious, right?
right,
So
it's
yeah,
like So
No
it's just like, oh yeah, she was another prisoner left on the ship, didn't have time to free. We got all of these.
Easy enough to
Soaking
do.
and all of this other stuff. Yeah.
Echo, what is your boring thing?
Love this.
Echo just kind of like stands in their room for a little bit, a little uncertain. The room is huge.
Yeah.
There's no closet.
It's a walk-in closet, sorry.
Imagine Echo
So
sleeps in
big.
closets.
Can you smoke in the rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just go over to the Mark III, plug in some yellow nutrient cubes, and then just like stand in the bath.
With
You
like
stand. The bath is about knee deep in its kind of like passive state, and you can step further into it where it will get down to be about waist deep, and then you can sit and it will go up to your shoulders. This is
Echo's
like an
just
actual hot
standing
spring.
there,
Okay.
and then like pulls up the communicator and is just like, "What do in a hot spring?"
So it just lists all these things, and really, like, it basically is repeating the entire brochure. There are massages and things like that, and in fact, you would mark that there is a sports massage that would probably give you a small benefit for the next 24 hours for whatever that's worth. There
Echo
is-
refines the search. How enjoy hot spring bath?
I would say make a cultures check.
Can't help you here.
No one can help here. You're alone. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So it's like the Google AI
Yeah.
where you type in how to enjoy hot springs, and then up at the top it says enjoy the hot springs by entering the hot waters of the hot springs. It's like just nothing that's really, it doesn't elucidate much.
Echo continues to stand, and
Yeah.
that's Echo's night.
No worries.
Once Echo's done just standing in the hot springs, Echo's gonna go to bed.
Okay, easy enough. So each of you kind of finds your ways to your room, and you settle in to kind of get roughly kind of situated. After probably about like an hour or two goes by, you would see a little ping on your communicator kind of come up, and this is coming up from Elysium Guest Services. And it is a list of the sort of activities that are coming up throughout the day. And you can see that this would sort of branch to allow you to do 2 different activities on each of the days that you stay here. And we will get into what those are next week because it is about 10:16 and we're going to step away for this evening. But all of you have leveled up. You have made it to the Elysium Resort. You have sort of sent your various rescuees or prisoners on trajectories, and we'll see what becomes
Best
of
friend
those.
trap.
But please, if you can't wait until next week, join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest. We are jumping into a
Combat.
well, we're jumping into a musical apparently. So you can
That's
tune in to
exciting.
see a musical performance by Tundon Schmeff, the Wonder Chef, who is going to be singing about the adventures of Mosaic Team
Of
5.
Mosaic Team 5.
Could you imagine? Damn,
Impressive.
Yeah, really impressive.
What a fortune teller.
Of the Wandering Hearts, our adventuring party for D&D. But please, whatever you choose to do, stay safe. It is wild out there. And we'll see you next week.
See you, SpaceX boyfriend.